prison.
Nobody that's a leader would not do what I did. And I know there's a risk, there's a danger, but that's okay. I just left Walter Reed Medical Center. And I learned so much in coronavirus. Don't be afraid of it. You're gonna beat it. We have the best medical equipment. Don't be afraid of it. Felt great, like better than I have in a long time. Don't be afraid of it. I didn't feel so good. Don't be afraid of it. You're gonna beat it. We have the coronavirus. Don't be afraid of it. And now I'm better. Maybe I'm immune. I don't know. Be afraid of it. Don't let it dominate. Don't let it take over your lives. Be afraid of it. Don't let that happen. We're the greatest country in the world. Be afraid of it. As your leader, I had to do that. I knew there's danger to it, but I had to do it. But don't let it dominate your lives. Get out there. Be careful. We have the best medicines in the world, and it all happened very shortly, and they're all getting approved, and the vaccines are coming momentarily. Today, I'm pleased to make a truly historic announcement in our battle against the China virus that will save countless lives. Convalescent strong antibodies from the blood of recovered patients to help treat patients battling a current infection. Convalescent this is the only possible, and it's only made possible because of Operation Convalescent. Today I'm pleased to make a truly historic announcement in our battle against the China virus that will save countless lives. We provided $48 million to fund the Mayo Clinic study that tested the efficacy of convalescent the virus. Convalescent. This is the only possible, and it's only made possible because of Operation Convalescent Plasma.
All right, welcome everybody. I could play videos and songs all night, but we actually do have things to get to and things to discuss. I am so glad that we can be together again tonight because I have so many things stored here for you guys that I've been just waiting, massive dumps of memes to lay upon you. And by the way, speaking of massive dumps, I should mention right up front, we are right now under attack by massive dumps of rain, snow, sleet, and wind here at the studio. And so let's all hope that the worst shouldn't happen. and that we experience a loss of either power or internet service. Let's hope none of that happens, because we have so much to talk about. So let me start with all of the things I have at the ready for you guys today. I have a voicemail from violent Trumpist Jimmy from Philly left at 4 a.m. this morning. I've not pre-screened it. I can only imagine a 4 a.m. voicemail from Jimmy from Philly is absolutely insane. So that's on the table as a possibility. I have a series of 3 voicemails from Troy York left today at 5:56 a.m., 6:09 a.m., and 6:18 a.m. 3 in a row, each of them the full 3 minutes long that our system maxes out at. I've not pre-screened them. That's something we could potentially play for you. I have a new exclusive song from Jethro Bradley, which has musicalized the flatulence of Rudy Giuliani. It's like nothing we've ever played before. I mean, there's nothing like we've ever played before that is like this. So I have all of these different things for you guys, which we could start looking at. I see a lot of beautiful super chats coming in, and some of them are about Trump clogging White House toilets and that type of thing, and concerns about COVID. There are very few masks here, as you can see. We're in the middle of a 9/11 a day. Today so far, okay, today only 2/3 of a 9/11. Yesterday, much closer to 2977 is the official 9/11 death toll for the day of. Of course, then we invaded a country that didn't attack us and killed like 200,000 civilians. So arguably, the 9/11 death toll is much more than 2977, but I think you all understand. It is absolutely insane what's going on with the virus. And look at these people. Look at this. Let's just listen briefly. Yeah. No masks. So it's absolutely and utterly insane. So we looked at the COVID numbers already. This is a rally of some consequence. This is a rally where we are expecting Donald Trump. It's in Georgia, where we have 2 Senate runoffs on January 5th, which will determine whether Democrats or Republicans control the Senate. The latest polling, the right-wing Trafalgar polling, has Loeffler up and Perdue down. RMG Research has Loeffler down and Perdue down. December 3rd, Warnock +7, Ossoff +2. November 18th, Loeffler +4. So what does all of this mean? I'll wait. What do all these polling numbers mean? What do they mean? They mean nothing. They mean nothing. That's exactly right. Twitch and YouTube chat completely destroying. It means absolutely nothing. And we all must vote. Stephen Kenneth Destiny Bennell II and Melina Destiny Bennell II are in Georgia right now, I believe. And maybe we could even potentially check in with them later. They're doing stuff down there. So we all vote. Look at these people. No mask. It's absolutely insane. And this is the point here. Michigan Wifey checking in with a beautiful super chat. It's not just thinning the herd because they'll infect others. That's exactly right. Studies done about the effect of these Trump corona rallies on cases and deaths. They lead to both cases and deaths, but very often it's not the people at the rallies because it is a virus, as we heard during that introductory song, and you infect people who aren't at the rally. So it's absolutely and completely correct. Okay, big thank you to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 people. I appreciate 12 folks who just grabbed Twitch subs. Very much appreciate that. People asking about the phone lines. I will address the phone lines momentarily, but before I do that, big thank you to Tyson Code, who is new member number 13 today, and Kyle Welch, who is new member number 14. I am very interested in opening the phone lines today, and I will absolutely do it if we get to 100 members and patrons. And we may have to do it a little bit differently. Some of the content from our phone calls lately has been a little bit too racy. And I have something we're gonna have to do about that. But just as an example, here's a phone call I recently received. Really edgy content. Okay, take a listen to this.
Hey, David, it's me. I just was wondering if you've ever reconsidered making an OnlyFans.
Sorry, if I've done making an omelet, what?
No, making an OnlyFans. Gardening season is over, and it's time for you to show us your zucchini.
That's very clever. No, listen, I think I'd be more likely. I'd be more likely to show my Granny Smith apples than any Zooks, to be perfectly frank, Flippy.
That works too.
Yeah. No, but I am on Cameo, which I think is like the work-safe OnlyFans, right?
Well, that works. Well, thank you.
And by the way, where does the name Flippy come from?
Oh, just an alias online.
Oh, does it have any meaning?
No.
Does it relate to like a floppy disk, for example? Remember those 5 1/4 inches?
Oh, it's supposed to be like flippy floppy, like a stupid way to call flip flops.
Oh, I got it. By the way, are you cleaning a violin in the background?
No, it's birds. Sorry.
Oh, it's birds. Oh, okay. All right, very good. Well, listen, I really appreciate the call, Flippy.
All right, thank you. Have a good day.
So very, very strong call. And as you can see, that's kind of edgy. So we're going to have to, I would love to take phone calls, and we would do that a little bit later. Okay, let me just keep things going. A couple of super chats. 0% chance Trump makes this about anyone but himself. Yeah, this will mostly be about Trump and attacking Joe Biden. Keep up the good work, David, watching your country with horror from Vancouver Island. I've heard Vancouver Island is beautiful. I've never had the pleasure, but I would love to visit. Very, very strong super chats coming in with that, which I appreciate. Okay, real quick, let me get you guys caught up about a few different things, okay? There are two new, relatively new memes. One is the massive dumps meme. This was what Donald Trump said during an interview recently.
And what happened, if you watched the election, I was called by the biggest people saying, congratulations, political people. Congratulations, sir, you just won the election. It was 10 o'clock, and you looked at the numbers, and I'm sure you felt that way. This election was over, and then they did dumps. They call them dumps, big, massive dumps.
Okay, so massive dumps then was turned into this very strong song by one of our listeners. Listen to this. It's just perfect.
Big, massive dumps.
Holy shit. It's one of the best we've had.
Big, massive dumps.
Ambient and atmospheric.
Big, massive dumps. Big, massive dumps.
Huge dumps.
In Michigan and Pennsylvania.
Huge dumps.
In Michigan and Pennsylvania.
Huge dumps. Just a powerful driving beat.
Michigan and Pennsylvania.
Huge dumps.
Big, massive dumps.
Okay, so we had that, and we also had this
A
one.
lot of people say,
David, can you appeal to this one's more ominous. Songwriting friends for a new banging tune.
they call them dumps.
Massive dumps. Massive dumps.
It's art, yeah. It's performance.
Is art. Massive dumps. As we've been saying for months. Massive dumps. What Trump means. Massive dumps. False propaganda.
Okay, so that's the massive dumps meme. I am going to now, because it's such a special day and we're standing by for we will all rejoice in it being one of Donald Trump's last rallies, okay? I am going to release an exclusive for you guys right now, and it is related to the Rudy Giuliani flatulence meme, okay? I don't know how many of you guys noticed, but the other night, Rudy Giuliani punctuated another one of these delusional so-called voter fraud events with a number of different elements of flatulence, okay? Take a listen.
I will ask that he be disciplined for that. First of all, the answer that I gave you is they didn't bother to interview a single witness.
Okay, so that was the other night, Rudy just continuing to embarrass himself. This is a world exclusive. I want people to be prepared to start dumping Twitch subs and dumping super chats if you like this. This is a world exclusive from, and that is real. People keep saying there's no way that's real. Go to the Michigan State Legislature website and look at the original video. It is real. People keep saying, David, that can't be real. It's real, guys. It's real, okay? Listen to this exclusive, which has musicalized the flatulence. I've never seen anything like this. Jethro deserves he should be teaching, he should be running the composition program at Berkeley. okay, on the basis of this production. Take a listen to this.
They didn't bother to interview a single witness. Just like you, they don't want to know the truth. Well, you probably know the truth.
Okay, so there's Rudy passing gas. But the content of this was also disgusting. This went on for hours.
Witness.
There's Rudy passing gas.
They didn't bother to interview a single witness. Just like you, they don't want to know the truth. Well, you probably know the truth.
I'd say that poll book is off by over 100,000. That poll book, why don't you look at the registered voters on there? How many registered voters are on there? Do you even know the answer to that?
No, I guess I'm trying to get to the bottom.
Zero. There's zero. Guess how many? Wait. What about the turnout rate? 120%.
I mean, turning the flatulence into the into the snare, essentially. I've never seen anything like it, and people clearly responding very, very strongly to it. General Matsu has just gifted 10 subs on Twitch, and people very, very aggressive over on YouTube. David sending $5 for that one, and Daniel Krieger sending $2. I mean, people are just exploding from that. It is unbelievable. It's one of the funniest things. I've never seen anything like that. Unbelievable event. Big thank you to Gerald Fleury, as well as Michael McDonald, who are new members 15 and 16 today. Very, very much appreciate that. And with those additional 11 subs via Twitch, that puts us at 27. Okay, what do you guys want next? Do you want a very, very dark message that I have to present to you, or do you want to hear the middle of the night Jimmy from Philly voicemail? I have both available right now. No, phone calls would be later. People asking for phone calls would be after the rally, depending on how things go. We'll do the Jimmy. Okay. All right. So here's the setup. This is a voicemail from a man. I was going to say a gentleman, but that would be a lie. From a man named Jimmy from Philly. He was recently actually arrested for, I think it was actually, I don't want to misspeak, but I think he was arrested recently for literally chasing a car full of black youth down the street where he lives. It's completely nuts. That I'm not even exaggerating about that. He left a voicemail at 4:57 a.m. this morning. I've not listened to this. Let's listen to it together and see what it's about.
David, Jimmy from Philly, I'm sick and fucking tired of listening to your bullshit about unhinged Trump supporters and this and that.
Oh, that is just perfect. Jimmy calling at 4:57 a.m. to yell at me is upset I'm talking about unhinged Trump supporters. Can you imagine?
Why don't you and I have a little debate on what's really happening? You can't withstand it, David.
Withstand?
You're so full of shit, so obviously deceitful. You make me sick, David. I got my hat's off to you that you can bullshit over 1 million people.
It's almost 1.2 million plus, 66K on Twitch, and then we got 130K on Facebook. Jimmy, you got to give me the right numbers.
These people don't even.
He's got to be wasted. I agree with you guys.
Search anything you say. They don't refute it at all. So you can basically, when you get that kind of feedback or non-feedback or whatever they're called.
I can't imagine he's up for work at 4:57. I assume he's still awake at 4:57 from a night of drinking.
You can fucking basically dictate whatever the fuck you want. Congratulations, Dave.
I don't even know what this voicemail's about, honestly.
That in itself is a feat. You are the 2020 winner of deceit.
Did he say the feat or deceit?
Yeah, my information, motherfucker. Fuck your cappuccino.
Oh, that's brilliant. Oh, an anti-cappuccino message popping in at the end there. Okay, so there is Jimmy from Philly. That is crazy. That is really, really crazy stuff. Goddamn user pointing out via super chat that the Rudy Star witness was convicted with harassment recently. Yeah, and I think she also released sex tapes. Melissa Carone released sex tapes of her and her ex-boyfriend or something like that. Big thank you to Judah Bowles Weber, as well as Christopher Routh, who is new member number 29 today. All right, listen, let me just get this out of the way. I'm sorry. No, hold on. I have another couple. So this is 3 voicemails in a row in the middle of the night from Troy York. Troy York is another regular caller. Let's listen together. I've not pre-screened these.
Yes, you may think that the 48-minute Trump speech was delusional and unhinged.
That's true. That 48-minute speech Trump did was delusional and unhinged.
But many other people would disagree.
Yes, those people also think Trump won the election.
You just are fearful of the fact that you know that this has been an election fraud, and then Trump will get the word out, and more people are questioning the legitimacy of this president. That's actually untrue. Over time, the number of people who think Trump won has gone down. Like right after when Trump first did his voter fraud, massive dumps, 86% of his voters thought he really won. And then last week it was down to 80%. And then I would assume by next week it would be more in the 70s. So Troy's wrong. So that's one voicemail. He maxed out the full 3 minutes. That was at 5:56 a.m. this morning. And actually, based on Troy is in Central Times, once Troy accidentally doxed himself when he called in, so we know exactly who Troy is and where he is. He's in Central Time Zone. So then he sends a second voicemail minutes later. And the fact is that you haven't accepted the truth, and you know that there is election fraud. So you may say that. So he did another 2 minutes and 59 seconds, maxed out the recording again, and then 9 minutes later. Well, it took him 3 minutes to record it. So 6 minutes later, he calls back again. Then the fact that many people have questioned and pretty much been outspoken against what is obvious election fraud. Tommy Sotomayor. I don't know who Tommy Sotomayor is. Anthony Brian Logan. Haven't heard of him. Jesse Lee Peterson. Now, Jesse Lee I've heard of, but I don't typically hear people citing Jesse Lee as who you go to as a voice of reason. The Hodge twins. I don't know who the Hodge twins is. And even Tyrone Magnus had put out YouTube videos. I don't know who Tyrone Magnus is either. I don't know who any of those people are. Hey, Jack Quantum, thanks for gifting 10 subs on Twitch. I really do appreciate that. Thanks very much. So there's 3 more voicemails from Troy York. And then, did I have anything else? No. I guess that's it as far as voicemails go. So that's that. Yeah, so it's all been pretty wild. One other little thing for you guys, Rex Chapman, the former NBA basketball player, he gave us a very strong follow the other day, and he tweeted about an hour ago, this is video of my pillow guy, Mike Lindell, at this rally we're about to watch, saying something about arrests are incoming. Let's take a listen to that.
How do you not put people in prison? But the most, they will be going to prison. But in the meantime, December 14th is so important. We have to get this governor in here. Governor Kemp, Brian Kemp, has to give an order to have a Congress meeting or whatever they do, their legislators. Yeah, he doesn't know what it is, but someone's got to meet to give the election to Trump. And pull Georgia down and don't give it to Biden.
Yeah, and at this point, it doesn't matter. Remember, even without Georgia, Biden's got, 290 without Georgia? Georgia, I think, is 16.
Doesn't matter who they give it to. Don't give it to Biden. Just and find out all your corruption.
Find out the corruption and don't give it to Biden.
Because if you pull down Georgia, Pennsylvania, and crooked Nevada.
Oh, okay. Well, now you're saying take 3 states from Biden.
Now nobody has 270, and then it goes to the December 14th vote, and Donald Trump wins the election.
He doesn't seem to understand that the December 14th, if you pull down states and they don't vote on December 14th. Like, has anyone ever seen less of an understanding of the process while insisting they know exactly how to flip an election? It's like these people, a guy who makes pillows doesn't even understand what happens on December 14th and is being interviewed as a voice of expertise on how to steal an election from Joe Biden, who got more votes than anybody has ever gotten in history. And they see this guy as an authority of some kind. It's absolutely insane. Okay. Daniel says, David, if you hired someone from Craigslist to remove a certain legume from your teeth, but they became out of control, would you tell the mental dental rental to be gentle removing the lentil? Yes. Yes. Fiona says, laughing my ass off in the UK, Rudy is like an unhinged, sweaty clown. Thanks for working so hard to keep us all entertained. Yeah, the Rudy stuff is completely out of control. It's crazy. Also want to say thanks to Justin Smith, who is new member number 40 at joinpacman.com. Okay, listen, here's the sort of dark, ominous thing that I have to tell you guys about. We have been experiencing massive dumps of memberships. Okay. And I have just two examples. I told you on Wednesday that we're getting a lot of emails from people saying, David, I'm sorry, I got to cancel my membership because of COVID. And a couple people said, show us some of those emails. So I have a couple of those emails to show you here. Here is one. Okay. Let me see if I can zoom this. I need to get proper zoom for you guys. And this is just horrible that this is going on. This is Alex, who said yesterday, good evening, Mr. Pacman. It's so formal. It's unfortunate, but I have ended my membership because I have been unemployed since March, and my family and I are unsure when we'll feel that it's safe for me to be in a real life workplace again. I will remain subscribed to the YouTube channel. I'm sorry, says Alex. And then this one is from Rachel, and this is just horrible. Hello, my name is Rachel. I whited out, Rachel's last name. I would like to cancel my membership. I'm having financial difficulties and can't spare the expense of a long-term subscription. She gives me personal info here, which I've whited out. Thank you for understanding, and I'm sorry about canceling my membership. So this is hitting a lot of people, a lot of people, and I get it, which is why, we so appreciate the people that have been able to sign up in the last week or so. And it really does mean a lot. And we've got a lot planned for 2021. So my pitch to you is, if you can spare $1.80 a month, grab one of those memberships at joinpacman.com. We keep all but 2% of every payment. We just pay 2% to swipe credit cards. And that coupon code Fresh Start, beautiful coupon. And in fact, close to an illegal coupon code. I don't know if you guys know, but I was reported by producer Pat for these coupon codes. Remember this? This was crazy.
Hello, yes, I would like to report voter fraud today.
Sure, what's your experience?
Well, there's a certain David Parkman who I know to have voted in Nevada 3 times at least.
Okay, and what county is that?
In Clark County. He goes there twice a year for a conference. And also, he happens to be giving out borderline illegal membership discounts.
Right.
Like 50% off, 60% off, 70% off. And I'm worried that could be sacrificing the integrity of the election.
Okay, and what was your name?
My name is McDonald.
Okay, so the point is, these membership discounts, 70% off, we've been reported, and I don't think that they're going to last into Joe Biden's presidency. So the important thing is, this is the time to take advantage of it. Joinpacman.com. Use the coupon code. Don't use the coupon code. It's completely up to you. But we do have massive membership dumps happening. So we appreciate everybody who's been able to sign up. We are standing by for Donald Trump in Georgia campaigning, and presumably will be shot out of a cannon. I'm sorry. People are saying they signed up and I didn't thank them. Braden McCall signed up. Liam McIntyre. Zachary Schulke has signed up, as well as Loli Valencia, which puts us at 44, a perfect number. And also thanks to a bearded Austrian and a couple of other people on Twitch, that puts us at 48. And yes, thinking of opening phone lines after the rally, absolutely. We will talk about that a little bit later. Rusty says the massive dumps of memberships should be offset by the use of your bigly illegal Fresh Start coupon code. Consider changing it to Fresh Shart. Yeah, would more people sign up if the coupon code was Fresh Shart instead of Fresh Start? Because I'll change it right now, you know. I'll set the coupon code to whatever you want, as long as people are using it. We are exactly 31 days, I guess, from the January 5th runoff elections in Georgia. Donald Trump here in the small plane. We will be hearing from him momentarily. I'm guessing he's going to suggest voting for the two Republicans, although there's now a Republican movement saying boycott the Georgia election because it's rigged. Now, many of you, we talked about this on the bonus show the other day. You all know that one of the things I've been pushing for a decade on this program is vote. We want more people voting. I want high engagement. The more people vote, the more invested people are in what goes on, and the better I believe it is for the progressive movement. Now, I would never, ever, ever contradict that by saying, hey, Republicans, stay home. I would never do that. That would be antithetical to everything I've advocated on this program. But if Republicans are going to say, let's boycott the election in Georgia, I'm not going to argue with them. If their strategy is boycott the election in Georgia, go the hell ahead. I won't be advocating for it, but I'm not going to argue with anybody. And of course, Joe Biden being able to get big things done depends on those two elections. If they are won, then Democrats would have 50, and on 50-50 ties, Kamala Harris would become the deciding vote. So I believe everybody should vote. If Republicans are determined to boycott this election to make a political statement, have at it, Haas. I'm not going to get in the way. Tyler says this one is for Rachel. David and team, thanks. Keep up the great work. Thanks, Tyler. I appreciate that. New coupon code, Rudy's Duty. Morgan says, what's the best response to fiscally conservative folks who say, where are they going to get the money for more stimulus checks? We have the money. We have the money. Eritro says, I'm withdrawn from Brandeis after me and others identified white powerists and anti-Semites. Brandeis lawyers gave me a warning. I don't know what that's about. I'm sorry. Chakaseki says, vote in Georgia to pinch off the massive Loeffler and flush the Perdue. Beautiful. Beautiful. I like that. That's good, Chakaseki. Very nice. David, is Trump starting his 2024 campaign rally? I actually am wondering if tonight Trump will say something like, and if it doesn't work out, I'll see you back in 4 years. I think it's certainly conceivable he might say something like that tonight. I do think that that's possible. Oh my goodness. We just received a huge dump of memberships. I'm going to have to thank some folks. Hold on. Charles Errico, Brad Brown, Morgan Fisher, Blake Conboy, Gavin Iyer, Jake Sorensen, Matthew Michael, Sosh Daniels, Ruth Garcia, Sarah Gutierrez. Wow, this is insane what's going on. I don't want to take up the new the entire rest of the stream naming people, so let me just get a total number. Okay. Oh, so it's plus 22. That puts us at 60. Wow, that's a strong number. I did not expect that. That's wild. Catherine says, greetings from Ecuador. Keep up the good work. Appreciate that. I have never been to Ecuador. Would love to go. By the way, that reminds me, I saw someone ask if I'm reading anything interesting, anything new that's interesting. I am reading this book. I believe it's called like 432 days or 428 days, 436 days. It's about a Salvadorian fisherman, Salvador Alvarenga, who went to Mexico, drifted offshore in a storm, and spent more than 400 days at sea before ultimately being rescued. It's an unbelievable read. I'm going to get the book done in like 3 days because it's so compelling. I can't put it down. Really, really great book. I would encourage you to check that out. A lot of you noticing that there's a dearth of masks. Yes, there is a dearth of masks. It's insane. completely and utterly insane. Exile King COVID-45 to Epstein Island for his new reality show, Papillon Bigley. Okay. Adidia. I'm sorry. People are asking about my math. So yeah, that was not the full number. I was doing different math than what I was speaking. I apologize for that. But what I do now have is +8 from where we were, which puts us now at 68. 438 days is the book I'm referring to. Thank you. Appreciate that. Melee Max in the chat, helping me out with the name of the book. Excellent book. Excellent book. Jesus himself could come down from heaven and say Trump lost and there was no fraud, and the MAGA hats would call him a liberal shill. More or less. Yeah, more or less. Kate says, keep up the great info. Thanks to Jeff in Boston for gifting 5 subs, which along with 2 other people puts us at 75. Oh, if people are just joining, yeah, I'll replay it. So I don't know how many of you guys know this, but the other day, Rudy Giuliani, he farted at least 4 times during a hearing. And it's like, okay, it's a bodily function, but it's just sort of like the most poetic punctuation for this. Just a reminder of that.
I will ask that he be disciplined for that. First of all, the answer that I gave you is they didn't bother to interview a single witness. Just like
So anyway, Jethro Bradley debuted a new song where he takes the fart and he turns it into the backbeat. It's genius.
Single witness. Just like you, they don't want to know the truth. Well, you probably know the truth.
Okay, so there's Rudy passing gas. But the content of this was also disgusting. This went on for hours.
Witness.
Genius.
There's Rudy passing gas.
They didn't bother to interview a single witness. Just like you, they don't want to know the truth. Well, you probably know the truth.
Then we get to Melissa Carone.
I'd say that poll book is off by over 100,000. That poll book, why don't you look at the registered voters on there? How many registered voters are on there? Do you even know the answer to that?
No, I guess I'm trying to get to the bottom.
Zero. There's 0. Guess how many? Wait. What about the turnout rate? 120%.
Witness.
Beautiful. Absolutely perfect track. So anyway, so that's that. That's Jethro Bradley, and a very, very explosive song, literally and figuratively, I guess is what I would say. We did just get a +18 on the website memberships, which, correct my math if I'm wrong, puts us at 93. My math now is functioning a little bit better. Question from Australia: to participate in voting in the runoffs, did you have to vote in the federal election? No. And very importantly, James, if you are going to be 18 by January 5th, even if you are 17 today, to the 17-year-olds in Georgia, pay very close attention. If you are 17 and 11 months old right now, because we've got a month until the runoffs, you can register to vote on January 5th. Very, very, very important. Here's an interesting question for you guys. With the moderators, we've been having a debate a little bit about when people show up, like, for example, a user named It'll Buff Out just said Trump won in a landslide. Should we ban people for that? Because I've always said we welcome conservatives, libertarians, everybody's welcome to chat and participate. But when you're deliberately saying things that are, they get flagged on Twitter. If people show up and say Trump actually won, should we ban for that? Not yet, people are saying. Okay, that's fair. Oh, I see. Some people are saying once Joe Biden is sworn in, and if people keep showing up and saying it, then we should ban them. Oh, now more people are saying yes. Okay, well, that's interesting. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't really bother me. I don't care about it. But we've been having it. Like, for example, if people spam Trump 2020 when he lost in the chat, it's like the 2020 election's over. Should Trump 2020 should we at least delete those messages? Not ban the people, but delete the Trump 2020 messages. Guys, it's not about freedom of speech. This is a Twitch and YouTube channel. Delete the message, but don't ban. Oh, that's an interesting perspective. Yeah, okay, so basically I'm seeing every different opinion. I guess we'd have to put it to a poll. Julian asks if I've had Polish food before. Do I like pierogi? Yes, I like pierogi. I'm not big on the stuffed cabbage, but and I don't eat pork anymore. So some of those sausages are the sausage from the standpoint of sausage is not going so well. I'm being told that the David Pakman Show website is down. No, it seems to be working fine. Just tried it. Maybe it went down just very, very briefly, but there's not even that many people on the website. The website is beautifully working, and we, in fact, just had 7 more signups, which puts us at 100. So listen, I will open phone lines because we got to 100, but let's just see if we can get to 306, which was Biden's electoral votes. I do want to also add 7 on Twitch. We're counting Twitch as well. It all counts today, my friends. It all counts. I will open phone lines, and I look forward to hearing from people as we stand by for Donald Trump. Dwayne says publicly humiliate the Trumpers. Rusty mentioning the bad gateway. Yeah, but no, it seems to be working fine. What happened to Kraken? Is it loose in Georgia? Yeah, actually, hold on a second. I have video of when they released the Kraken. Here's Rudy releasing the Kraken.
I will ask that he be disciplined for that.
Hear that?
The answer that I gave you is they didn't bother to interview a single witness.
That was the Kraken being released, and it didn't overturn a single state, shockingly. Okay, it looks like Donald Trump, with a consortium of people, many not wearing masks, are walking over. Let's take a quick listen. Oh, they're still going with that song. God, that makes me sick. Listen, if you are just joining, we are here for what will hopefully be one of Donald Trump's last rallies ever. If you are watching on YouTube, there's 32,000 of you. Please hit that subscribe button. It's so important. We are trying to get to 1.2 million subscribers on YouTube before the end of the year. It's free to subscribe. And last stream, you guys broke the subscribe button where YouTube thought it must be spam because there couldn't possibly be this number of people signing up. So make sure to do that. And of course, if you're watching on Twitch, we are exactly 2/3 of the way to our first 100,000 followers on Twitch. And I would love it if you make sure to follow us there as well. The Bitchkin Chicken says, David, do you have chickens? You know, I don't have chickens, but now I am a huge egg snob. Is that Melania? Oh, it is. I'm a huge egg snob now, where after a friend of mine gave me some of his grass-fed backyard eggs, and that yolk was like a neon orange from all the beta carotene in the grass. The other day I went and got organic eggs, and I scrambled it, and it was like white compared to these orange yolks. I am a complete egg snob. So tomorrow, this is breaking. I'm going to be going to a farm tomorrow and getting a dozen very, very powerful yolked eggs. And so I don't have chickens, but I would love to be able to get eggs. Yeah. From the lakes of Minnesota. Okay, so it's still going. I don't know what we're going to hear from Trump in this one. I don't know if Melania will be introducing him or what. It's a complete and total mess. It's a complete and total mess. Oh, people are talking about they like the backyard eggs as well. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it just would be complicated to do. Normally, I'm traveling a lot, so it's hard to... My friend who has eggs, each day, he has to kind of close the door in the coop. It's crazy. Okay, we've got another 8 folks who just signed up on my website and another 4 on Twitch, which puts us at 119. Very, very strong number. We are going to be shortly hearing from Donald Trump. Really appreciate everybody who's here. I don't know what to expect. But let's see. It might be Melania first. Let's see. Hopefully Trump will dance too. And it does seem as though Melania will be delivering a statement about being best and all of that stuff. As you can see, We have a global pandemic that is ravaging right now, and I see very few masks here. People literally shoulder to shoulder. Donald Trump giving us that pump. And much like Arnold, clearly Trump addicted to the pump, as we can see. Trump's hair looking green today, which is unusual. Could be a white balance issue. Nope, it's like that on all of these. All right, I'm guessing Melania will speak.
It is wonderful to be here with you tonight. Thank you for coming out and supporting us. President Trump continues to fight for you every single day.
Fight for you to die.
Do not let your voices be silenced.
Hey guys, you voted and lost. That's it.
In the Senate, it is more important than ever that you exercise your right as an American citizen and vote. Under my husband's leadership, our borders are safer. Global terrorists have been destroyed and historic peace deals in the Middle East have been made. Our nation is respected again, and our allies are now doing their fair share globally.
Yeah.
President Trump has back to the American people. And opportunities for women have expanded in our workforce. Our economy has soared and unemployment has shrunk.
No, unemployment's higher than when he took office.
When a global pandemic hit the United States last January, my husband put the American people first.
What?
And now, under this administration, and because of our amazing medical capabilities and resources, we are closer than ever to vaccinate that will save millions of lives.
Is she have, I mean, listen, I know she doesn't speak English as a first language. Do you think that it's written incorrectly or that she's saying the stuff wrong? And I think she just blinked Morse code for hostage.
Loeffler and Senator Perdue, thank you and God bless you and your families. It is now my pleasure to welcome the President of the United States, Donald J. Trump.
Very strange event so far. It would be funny to see Trump shake her hand. I mean, could it be less personal? Now he's pushing her off. Yeah. Thank you so much. Off the stage, please. Oh, I didn't realize how funny the chance of 4 more years would be, given the absurdity of the loss. I actually forgot that.
Popular First Lady, I have to tell you. Thank you very much, and thank you, Melania. And I want to say hello, Georgia.
Oh, now she's back on the stage.
Great job. You know, we won Georgia, just so you understand.
He kicked her off, and now she's back.
And we won Florida. And we won a lot of places. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Isn't this the best? I mean, it's completely corrosive to democracy, but the copium is strong.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you. No, we won a lot of places. We won Florida. We won Ohio. Big. We won them big. Remember, we were going to lose Florida, they said. We were 5 down in Florida. We won by a lot.
He's acting like he won the election.
Way down in Ohio, and we won by a lot. I think they say that if you win Florida and if you win Ohio, in history, you've never lost an election.
He set a record. He was the first guy.
They were right. We've never lost an election. We're winning this election. And
this is the best.
And I will say we're fighting very hard for this state. When you look at all of the corruption and all of the problems having to do with this election.
Yes, we're corrupt here.
Campaign, and then I wait for the numbers. But when the numbers come out of ceilings and come out of leather bags, you start to say, what's going on? But I want to just tell you that
those are lies.
I love this state. I love the people in this state. And I'm thrilled to be back in magnificent Georgia. with thousands of proud, hardworking American
It's a mind virus. He says they won, the crowd cheers like he won, and he'll be gone in 7 weeks.
We started 5 years ago, and I said, you're going to be saying Christmas again, and we say it proudly again, although they'll be trying to take that word again out of the vocabulary. We're not going to let them do that. I also want to express our profound condolences to the family of Harrison Deal, a young and brilliant campaign staffer for Senator Loeffler, who tragically died in a terrible car accident yesterday. You know about it. He was an incredible, magnificent young man, and I just want to say our prayers are with his friends and loved ones, and we will keep his memory in our hearts. And he's looking down right now, and he's very proud of Kelly and David. He's very proud of all of us, so I just want to express my...
He's proud of Trump, too? How does he know that?
Family and everybody. Thank you. Thank you, Kelly. And let me also express our warmest, best wishes and love to all of those people and families suffering from the COVID pandemic. Vaccines are on their way.
Yeah, like many of the people at the rally will soon be suffering.
It would have taken another administration 5 years. It took us 7 months. And they're starting next week, and we're going to start...
If getting vaccines depended on Trump, why does Britain also have one that they developed at Oxford that had nothing to do with Trump at the same time?
Immune. I hope it's true. You know, they say that before I had it, they said if you catch it, you're immune for life. Once I got it, they said if you catch it, you're immune for 4 months, right? You know? But they're on their way, the vaccines, and they're great vaccines and safe and brilliant, actually, to think of it, what we've done in such a short period of time. Nobody thought, they call it, even some of the enemies call it a medical miracle, what we've done.
The enemies call it a miracle.
And they're already here, and I can testify to that fact. I'll tell you what, some incredible work has been done over the last 7 months. And
Trump's
we should
testimony.
always get credit for that. Don't let anyone ever take it away from us. We're gathered here tonight to ensure, a very important word, ensure, because these are two great, great people that I know so well and respected by everybody in Washington and beyond, that David Perdue and Kelly Loeffler win the most important congressional runoff probably in American history. I really believe that. I think it's in American history.
Trump already lost the most important election in American history. Now it's up to the Senate.
At least you have two beauties. And you know what? You also have two beauties running against them, but beauty in a different way. They're two beauties. But there's never been a case where a state has had this prominence on Senate races, because they're never together. And this is something that's very important, and you have to get out and you have to vote. You have to make sure you have every vote counted.
Yes.
Every vote has to count. You got to make sure they don't throw away any ballots. You got to make sure that when they collect the ballots and they start bragging about how many ballots they already have, you got to make sure your Secretary of State knows what the hell he's doing.
There he goes. Going after Brad
And you got to
Raffensperger.
make sure your governor gets a lot tougher than he's been. He's got to get a lot tougher.
And going after the governor as well.
Because at stake in this election is control of the U.S. Senate, and that really means control of this country. The voters of Georgia will determine which party runs every committee, writes every piece of legislation, controls every single taxpayer dollar. Very simply, you will decide whether your children will grow up in a socialist country or whether they will grow up in a free country.
And under Joe Biden, who are the socialists again?
Beginning for these people. These people want to go further than socialism. They want to go into a communistic form of government.
Yes.
And I have
Joe Biden wants the government rationing potatoes.
Somehow that doesn't suit Georgia too well. That doesn't work too well, I think, Kelly in Georgia, does it, huh? David and Kelly are running against radical Jon Ossoff and Raphael Warnock.
Really radical.
Ossoff and Warnock are the two most extreme far-left liberal Senate candidates in the history of our country. And
Bernie is to both of their left, and he's a senator right now. What is he talking about?
you must go vote and vote early.
They wouldn't even be the most liberal senators.
You have to do it. They cheated and they rigged our presidential election, but we will still win it. We will still win it. We'll still win it. And they're going to try and rig this election, too.
Yeah. What are they saying? Stop the steal? Or 4 more years?
No, we continue to fight. We've had some great moments. We just need somebody with courage to do what they have to do, because everyone knows it's wrong.
Right.
We need somebody with courage, somebody that makes decisions. And we'll be going up to the Supreme Court very shortly, and we really, if we have...
Unclear that anything's going to get to the Supreme Court. They've got 9 days.
If we have courage and wisdom, I think you know what the answer is going to be, because you can't let people get away with what they got away with. With over...
Uh-oh.
Think of it, with over...
The language is getting dicey.
Votes, over. Think of that, more than... I got more votes than any sitting president in history, 11 million more votes
And still lost by 6 million.
than we got in 2016. And we thought that if we could get 68 million, 67 million, that would be the end. All of our great, brilliant geniuses said you'd win if you get 67 or 68.
Guess they weren't that smart.
We got 74 million plus, and they're trying to convince us that we lost. We didn't lose. They found a lot of...
Oh, the next 4 years are going to be insane.
And they got rid of some, too. The 74, let me tell you, the 74 could have been even higher. As the great pollster, John McLaughlin, who's really a great pollster, one of the most highly respected, he said there's no way this could have happened other than the obvious cheating or a rigged election. There's no way it could have happened. You know, it's interesting. I wrote this out, and I had just a few of the facts, which I think, because I want to get onto the presidential. I want to stay on presidential, but I got to get to these two because they're incredible. But listen to this.
This is amazing.
These are the facts, and each fact is like irrefutable.
Let's see.
It means win. President Trump received, done by one of the most brilliant political people, President Trump received more votes than any previous incumbent president in history. And we lost.
But Biden got more.
And we lost.
But Biden got more.
So we received more votes than anybody in history, any incumbent in history. And we lost, supposedly. We didn't.
But Biden got more.
You're gonna see that. No incumbent who received 75% of the total primary vote lost re-election in the history of our country.
There was no primary in the Republican Party. It's shocking Trump didn't get 98%. There was no Republican primary. Of course he got 75%.
Is the only one of 5 incumbents since 1912 to receive more than 90% of the primary vote. And again, anybody received over 75%, they won.
There was no primary.
94%.
You guys remember there was nobody running against Trump other than in a few states, and they canceled a bunch of primaries because of the pandemic.
Ever. And nobody that's received all of the primary votes, nobody's received at a much lesser level.
He's almost bragging that it's amazing how he lost. Like it's embarrassing how he lost.
It's rigged. It's a fixed deal. Nationally, initial show that 26% of President Trump's voting share came from non-white voters, the highest percentage
Irrelevant.
for a GOP presidential candidate since 1960. That's a long time ago. President Trump won, think of this one, President Trump won 18 of 19 bellwether counties. You know what a bellwether county is? It's a big deal.
Turns out it doesn't matter.
18 of 19, a record, never happened, that between 1980 and 2016 voted for the eventual president in every single election, and before that it was almost every election.
Let me interpret. Our party was marginally less racially divided than before, and yet I still managed to lose by 7 million.
Biden did not demonstrate coattails for the down ballot races. Had no coattails. I'm shocked to hear that. In fact, he got 80 million votes, but when he made a Thanksgiving Day speech on the internet,
oh no,
they say he had less than 1,000 people. How do you have 80 million votes and you have 1,000?
Check out my video clip about
that. 80
that.
million votes and you have less than 1,000 people. With Republicans maintaining control. So here's what happened. So Biden didn't demonstrate coattails down ballot races, but with Republicans maintaining control, first time this has ever happened. control of the Senate, winning all 27 toss-up races in the House. Kevin McCarthy, great job. Mitch, great job. Winning all 27 toss-up races in the House. Think of it. We didn't lose a seat in the House. Think of this. First time that anybody, I think in history, we didn't lose one seat. Normally you lose 2, 3, 5, and you replace. We lost nobody sitting in Congress.
Out of his mind.
In the House with Kevin McCarthy. Not losing a single legislative chamber and making big gains at the state level and holding on to the Senate. I mean, look at what's happened. We better hold.
So the message is, given everything I'm saying, I am an extra big loser for still having managed how to lose.
Close to losing, but they say we lost. The only way is they stuffed the ballot boxes. President Trump won. President Trump won, as we said, both in Florida and in Ohio.
No fraud there, guys.
By the way, won by a lot. Remember, remember the fake polls where they said he's down by 4 in Florida, and won by a lot. He's down by 2 in Ohio, and we won. I think we got 8 or 9 or something up. No, but nobody's ever done that. Those 2 very powerful, big, important states. And the beauty is that we also won Georgia, and that was good. And we won South Carolina. And we
it's also
Iowa,
daytime right
remember?
now.
We're not going to win in Iowa, they say.
Trump's also black. I mean, everything's backwards.
Right? Well, we won in Iowa by a lot. We won in Iowa by close to record numbers. I think I have the record. And we won all over the place. And many of these swing states, it's a very interesting statistic. President Obama beat Biden all over the country, except in some of the swing states where Biden beat him badly. How does that work? And they say it's statistically impossible. He beat crooked Hillary. Think of this. He beat crooked Hillary in the swing states, but she beat him everywhere else. Let me tell you, this election was rigged, and we can't let it happen to 2 of the greatest, most respected people in Washington. We can't let it happen again.
This is crazy. Completely corrosive to democracy. Arguably stochastic terrorism.
Can't let it happen. Can't let it happen. Your governor could stop it very easily.
But he's a loser.
What the hell he was doing.
Right, he's a loser too.
Hundreds of thousands of illegal votes were cast in each state.
This is very dangerous. It's not an exaggeration to say this is dangerous.
Hundreds of thousands more than we needed were cast in every state we're talking about, not only here, but Michigan, Pennsylvania. How about Pennsylvania, where they throw the poll watchers out? They threw them out. They literally threw them out. And they did it here too, by the way.
Right.
But we caught him cold. And
no problems in the states Trump won, notice.
We've been able to find the people with the courage to do the right thing. And that is true in Georgia, certainly. But we're going to hit those people, and they're going to go down in history as great people. They're going to go down because
we're going to hit them?
What took place.
What does that mean?
But we're going to talk about the presidential election a little bit later, because we have a big senatorial race going on in Georgia, and we are watching Democrats very, very closely. And remember this, we had this massive race all over the country.
What does Trump mean? What does he even mean we're going to hit these people?
Like they should. And, again, all I can do is say, I'm running, win, and then do a good job as president. That's all. I don't run the elections. I don't run to see if people are walking in with suitcases and putting them under a table with a black.
He can't get away from it. He can't get away from it. That story's been debunked.
Your government here. And for whatever reason, your Secretary of State and your governor are afraid of Stacey Abrams. They're afraid of her. So we know the Democrats are planning to cheat, and we can't let them do it again. And we're going to pull ours out one way or the other. But we have to be vigilant, because I don't want these 2 to work like I thought we were going to easily win. And that maybe for the first time in a long time, I'd go take a nice little vacation for about 2 days, and then we go back. And instead, I probably worked harder in the last 3 weeks than I've ever worked in my life.
Worked? He didn't do any work he hasn't done work in months.
And I've become friendly with legislators that I didn't know 4 weeks ago, and actually they're great people.
Actually.
In my pocket right here.
Uh-oh.
We have a couple of them right in here. Where's Burt Jones? Bert, boy, you're a young guy. I thought you were young, but not that young. Bert Jones, I want to thank you, Bert, for being here.
Some of these people were actually not terrible to be around for Trump.
Thank you very much, Bert. I appreciate everything you're doing, and so does this big crowd. And this is a lot of people. Also, Brandon Beach, Senator Brandon Beach. Brandon, thank you for everything. We appreciate it. William Liggins. William.
It's I've never seen any. It's like he's like showing up like he won. He's acting like he's going to be president, and then he'll be gone. And then what will the people say?
Where's Greg? Greg, thank you very much, Greg. We appreciate it. Really do. We appreciate it. Great people. And we said, have this brought back into your legislature, Governor. Have it brought back. Let these people make it. Keep it open. Keep it transparent.
What he means is just send different electors, even though Biden won.
They keep counting the same votes. I said, don't count votes. Look at the signature. You're going to find the signatures aren't what they were 2 years ago, 4 years ago, 6 years ago. But our two great Senate opponents, and these are two people that...
What did he say? Senator Pomp? What was that? That was weird.
But one of the people that you're fighting, I went against him, Ossoff, 4 years ago. He was against a very fine woman, Karen. It was a great woman, and he was leading by quite a bit, and we ended up beating him. He didn't even live in the district. He was running for Congress. He didn't even live in the district. So we're going to have the same thing. But Ossoff and Warnock will be total pawns of Chuck Schumer, crying Chuck. I only see him cry when the cameras are on. But he did say this. Maybe I'm hurting you when I say he did say this. If we get in, we're going to absolutely make Donald Trump's life miserable. Can you believe that? That's Chuck Schumer. He made the statement. We're going to investigate him. Oh, those investigations will go on and on. Well, they've been investigating me since the day we came down on the escalator, what turned out to be our great first lady. We came down the escalator, right? and
he's living in 2015 still.
Lots of other things. But Nancy Pelosi, AOC, Bernie Sanders.
It's hilarious to just name AOC completely. He just says AOC, boo, boo.
Rather infamously, first we take Georgia, then we take America. But they don't mean take America like in a good sense.
No.
They mean bring it over to things that the people of Georgia don't want. You're not going to like it when they want to take over your farm. Gee, we own this farm too. You know, we were here also. We own this farm. Here's exactly how they will change America forever. The radical Democrats, if they get power, they will immediately abolish the Senate filibuster, allowing them to pass any bill they want and giving them free rein.
It actually doesn't seem like Dems would do that.
Left-wing agenda ever conceived, while at the same time destroying our military through a lack of funding.
That's all lies. Yeah, that'll never happen.
And by the way, tell our senators, end Section 230.
If Section 230 is ended, Trump gets banned from Twitter that day.
I want it in the defense bill. Put it in because
talked about it recently.
Security problem. It's a big national security, so hopefully Mitch and the senators will put it in. But it's the one chance we have to bring big tech, who are vicious and violent and untruthful, to bring big tech.
If people remind me later, I can talk about 230. But
Section 230. So hopefully we will do it. It happens to be a politically very popular thing to do, by the way. If these people get control, their draconian military cuts will devastate Fort Benning, Fort Gordon, and the military families all across.
No, they won't.
We would also like to save the names of the forts, if you don't mind, everybody.
If there were a reduction to the military, the first thing we would do is maybe like we only need 40 bases in Germany instead of 50. Fort Benning is going to be fine, guys.
Past warriors, heroes in some cases, many cases. Some turned out to be heroes in disguise, perhaps. But they want to take the names off, and they have the right to desecrate, to take down, to destroy, to demolish places in our national parks that we don't want demolished. So we have to be very careful of that. We can't let that happen. They want to put it in our military bill. Of all people, Elizabeth Warren puts that clause in the military bill. They will impose total open borders so that people can pour into our country.
No, they won't.
And they will give them free health care, free welfare, and the right to vote in your elections. You won't ever win.
Well, only citizens can vote.
As a Republican. They even want to take down the wall. You know, the wall, I won on the wall too. We won on a lot of
The wall he never built is coming right down.
We will take down the wall. You know, we have the strongest border we've ever had now. We're almost finished with the wall.
It's like a campaign. It's stunning that the speech is no different than 2 weeks before. It's the same speeches before the campaign.
Incredible the effect it's having. We built it despite rather, everybody said no chance. I mean, we had a whole very powerful Democrat Party oppose me. And yesterday, I don't know if you saw it, the court just ruled that the money I took was taken illegally. So at least we have a legal wall.
Oh, okay.
The appeals court. So we took in and we built the wall, and we'll be finished with it very soon.
It's funny. This is a Senate rally. He still hasn't even talked about them.
Coming into the country. And by the way, we want people to come into our country. You see that by the vote I got. But we want people to come in legally and through merit, where they can help us. The radical Democrats will implement nationwide catch and release. You know what that is? You catch a killer, you catch a rapist, and you say, oh, thank you very much. Please give us your name. Oh, come back in 3 years. We're going to put you on trial.
That's a lie.
You never see them, by the way. Remember, I had that debate with Joe Biden. He said, no, they come back. Yeah, they don't come back. They don't come back. No, they don't come back. Like never. Maybe 1%, but I doubt it. That's the end of them. You let them loose in our country. I got rid of it. You think that was easy? And install sanctuary cities all across the country.
Very dehumanizing language.
Freeing criminal aliens and MS-13 gang members, the most vicious people. They don't like guns because it's not painful enough. They like using.
If you're one of the Senate candidates standing off stage, do you believe this is helping you win on January 5th?
On innocent families. We've moved thousands and thousands of MS-13 the hell out of our country. We moved them back to where they came from. And some we put in prison because they're too dangerous to move back, because they'll try and figure a way. You know, they're not stupid. They're vicious, but they're not stupid. Sort of like the Democrats, if you think about it. They'll confiscate privately owned firearms and share. What they will do, they will share everything with themselves, only dangerous equipment, and they will totally cut up a thing called your Second Amendment rights.
That's not true.
They'll make Washington, D.C. a state and many other places.
That'd be great.
Guaranteeing 2, 4, or 6 additional left-wing senators.
I wish.
You know, they want to make numerous places states.
I wish.
This way you have a lot more, Louis, you can have a lot more company in Congress. You'll have another 30, 40 congressional people from places you've never even heard of. You've never even heard of.
That's insane.
Great Louis Gohmert.
Oh my God, COVID Louis is there.
And they'll be voting against Georgia every time, completely canceling out your voice in Washington forever. Like
fingers crossed.
Perdue, I'll never forget it. You got hit by a piece of a hurricane. Remember that? The farmers got hit so hard. And I went with Sonny and with David and some other great people from Georgia. And I said, is there a way we can pay these people? They never asked for anything, and their orchards were wiped out. One of the men said this was going to be the best crop I ever had. I was a week and a half away from finally, after 10, 12 years, making some money.
What is he talking about?
A week and a half early, he gets hit by the remnants of that big hurricane from Florida. Great state, great place, but you got hit. And David, we took 100% care of those people, right? We took 100% care, yeah. With the help of Sonny Perdue, Secretary of Agriculture. And I felt so good. But I met those, I met them. There were 33 of them standing, and they were all in a line. What do you do?
Isn't Sonny Perdue like 83 years old? Why is he at a rally with thousands of people during a global pandemic? Like, what the hell's going on?
They didn't want it. These are incredible people. They don't want anything. They just want a level playing field, but we took care of them. They never forgot it either. It's very interesting. I still hear from some of those people. The extreme left will pack the Supreme Court with 24 radical justices. That's the last number I heard.
What?
I used to hear it was 16. Now
I've never heard that before. What?
Pretty soon you'll have another Congress. 24 radical justices instead of 9 justices that we have right now.
Also, why would you make it an even number? That's very stupid.
So that Supreme Court justices can spend time in other locations down the totem pole. They want to hurt the Supreme Court, and they want to hurt it very badly. And if these two don't get in, or if I don't get in and these don't, we got to get, the best would be all three. Nothing will happen.
Well, that's not happening.
But they want to destroy the sanctity of the Supreme Court, the importance of the Supreme Court, the majesty of the Supreme Court. They'll terminate religious liberty, cancel free speech, and force you to fund extreme late-term.
Sir, we're canceling free speech.
And there will be nothing to stop them. If they don't get in, there's going to be nothing to stop them. You have no idea how bad it will be. There will be nothing. I used to argue with certain people about the filibuster. I said, look, I don't like it either, but I do it because I know they're going to do it. And everybody said, oh, they'll never do it. They're doing it. They've already announced they're going to do it.
Nobody's done
That
anything.
means they can do anything they want. And you know, the Republicans, they play a different game. I don't know, maybe they love the country more. But they said, no, they'll never do it. And I said...
I see people in chat saying that there's some of the crowd is leaving already, people from the background. I haven't noticed that. Is that true?
Do it, and he will do that to the Supreme Court, there's no question, but they look forward to it. Because you know why? We put on three, think of this, three great justices and will be over 300 federal judges in the United States, which will be a record. 300. And they don't want to wait. They want to do it very quickly. Let's just vote and we'll take it. You know, this takes years and years and years to slowly change a court. And perhaps I got a little bit lucky to get three. A lot of presidents have had none. They've never had. They stay on for a long time. They're young when they go on and they're old when they come off. But the fact is, a lot of presidents, good presidents, great presidents, they say you can't be a great president unless you put in Supreme
Who says
Court
that?
justices.
Who
They
says
say
that?
It's the single most important thing a president can do. And I'm not sure that's right. I think military defense, military offense, frankly, is the most important.
Military offense.
But it's certainly one of the most important things you can do. And the fact that I will have by the end, more than 300, first term, think of it. And if we do a second term, which I hope we do, we could have close to 540.
Guys, I'd really like a second term, please.
But the fact that I had 3 Supreme Court justices in the first term is not making them feel too good. They will unilaterally surrender to China. They're already doing it. And, you know, Hunter made a lot of money in China. What's he going to do? Sending our factories and our jobs overseas. They will raise your taxes. We lowered your taxes. We gave you the greatest tax decrease, tax cut in the history of our country. And they want to get rid of that and raise your taxes and raise your regulations.
This lady really liked that.
More regulations than any president in the history of our country. That's one of the reasons our business came back. You know, with the pandemic, as bad as it is, it's horrible. Should have never happened. China allowed this to happen. Should have never happened.
Right.
But, you know, we went down less. A lot of people don't like to talk our economy. We went down less, and we went up more than any other country in the world. We went down less because we had a good foundation. And yesterday again, so now I thought it was 48. It's actually 128 times. Can you believe it? We set a new stock market record. But this one was great because the Dow Jones Industrial Average think of this, over 30,000 for the first time ever over the last couple of weeks. And yesterday was 30,200. Can you believe this? And this is during hopefully what will be, we're rounding the turn, we're rounding the corner in the pandemic, but this is during a pandemic. We broke 30,000, a number that was unthinkable when I first came. When I first came in at around 16,000, the concept of hitting a 30,000 Dow was not even possible. And we not only hit it, can you imagine if we didn't get hit by this freak, this total freak that came into our country? Can you imagine if we didn't get
Trump remembers calling some of his classmates total freaks in middle school.
We did this sort of twice. We took it from the time I came in to the time we got hit, and nobody's blaming us for that. Every country, 188, got hit. Some were totally devastated. I don't know if they ever recover. But if you think about it, we had 2.
We did it the first time. We went up from where I took it over, way up, then it went down. Then we had a second. So we really had two. And
Crystal
now we're
clear.
gonna get money because we want the money. First of all, these states and cities should open up. They should open up. And we're working hard against the Democrats, but we're working hard to get some money out to the people because they need it. It's not their fault that they got hit with something from China. And you notice the way the Democrats like to say, it came from Italy. No, it came from China. And that's okay to say it. They like to say it came from Europe. No, actually, well, specifically, it came from Italy. Italy's saying, what did we do? They'll wage war on American energy, absolutely decimating Georgia's middle class. They will, your bills will go up. Not a huge energy producer, but Texas. Remember they said, Trump will lose Texas by a lot. I said, wait a minute. I'm in favor of energy. I'm the one that built. We have the greatest energy we've ever had, and it all happened
Perfect
in this
energy.
period of time.
High
So
energy.
you're telling me that I'm going to lose Texas to a guy that's against fracking, against energy.
Is he at all going to talk about the Senate races? I wonder. Or is this going 4 hours tonight?
So much. Somebody said, we don't even know how much. And we knew that before, but it's fake news. They said Wisconsin. A poll came out, Washington Post, ABC, just before the election. I'm going to lose Wisconsin by 17 points. I said, no, I'm going to win Wisconsin. Well, actually, I won Wisconsin. They're trying to say he's a little down.
No, you lost. You lost. Yeah, you lost.
But that's called suppression. That's called the suppression poll. That's a poll that's so devastating. When I asked,
If you're just joining us, Trump has lost his
why
mind
did they go
again.
so far? Why don't they just say 4 or 5? Because in 4 years, they're going to lose all respect. They don't care. They'll do anything to win. They'll do anything to beat you. They don't care. These people are sick. 17 points, and we actually won. Remember, so many of the states, I won every one of them. Every one of these states. And by the way, the swing states that we're all fighting over now, I won them all by a lot.
He won them all, guys.
I won them all by a lot.
He won every state.
And I have to say, if I lost, I'd be a very gracious loser.
Yeah, right.
If I lost, I would say I lost, and I'd go to Florida, and I'd take it easy, and I'd go around, and I'd say I did a good job. But you can't ever accept when they steal and rig and rob.
This is sick.
Can't accept.
It's just like he just lost. This is
Well, the Democrats did try to steal the presidency. They're trying like hell. Do you ever notice the fake news? Today he's appointing his this, his that.
yeah.
Sonny, his Secretary of Agriculture, Sonny. I like Sonny. We want Sonny. He was a great governor here for 8 years, right? You would have solved this problem in about 2 hours, Sonny.
Imagine Biden appointing
Let the
people.
legislature open. Let the vote. Let us be transparent on signatures. I think that's okay. But we're working hard to ensure that it doesn't happen. And now they're trying to steal these 2 important Senate seats from Georgia. And these seats are the last line of defense to save America and protect all that we have accomplished. And, you know, we've accomplished things that no other president has accomplished, no other administration. And I did it with these 2 people.
I don't know that I'd call them accomplishments, but
When
it's
Kelly
true.
came in, I didn't really know what to think. There is nobody that fought harder for me. And I have to tell you this. I'll tell you, you mind me telling you like publicly. Is that okay? There is nobody. David understands this, too. She fought. What a trooper. She was so tough and smart. She even went against Mitt Romney. She didn't like Mitt Romney too much.
Okay.
She said, I won't say what she said, but it was tough. But she is, we call him kryptonite. You know, anything he touches, they lose. But you were so great, and I'll not forget it. And David's been my friend for a long time,
It's funny, like these are the people the rally supposedly is supposed to help.
Than David Perdue. There's nobody. There's nobody. So we have to keep them. If the other side manages to steal both elections, we will have total one-party socialist control.
No socialists. None of them are socialists.
Will be gone. Your whole philosophy is going to be gone. Joe Biden Kamala Harris. Crying Chuck Schumer and Nancy Pelosi. They want to take away your guns. I never got it. That's one of the reasons I knew. How can you win? No oil, no guns, no God. Oh, they won. I don't think so. Okay, I don't think so.
Wow, that's very dumb. Very
We knew
stupid.
that a long time ago. They want to take away your jobs, take away your borders, take away your freedom, take away your religion, and they even want to take away your beautiful Christmas that we just got back.
Very dangerous rhetoric.
I have to
We
be
just
very
got
careful.
Christmas
You know,
back.
when I sort
What?
of imitate that, right? You remember I was saying suburban women? I say, suburban women, love me, please love me. I've been so good to you. I've been so good to you. I got rid of the worst regulation in the history of suburbia. I got rid of that regulation, so now you can actually have a house without a building going up next to it.
He got rid of the regulation he thought made it easier for black people to move in, even though it actually didn't.
I said, but suburban women, please, please love me. And CNN put me on. Donald Trump is begging. He's begging and crying for the vote of suburban women, right? These people are sick. So you have to be very careful when you're sarcastic. Sarcasm doesn't work. Sarcasm doesn't work with a... Wow, that is a big group of people back there. Look at that. The fake news. Whoa.
Will he call for the cameras to be turned around?
That's a big group. That is a lot of fake news. Well, now we call it the fake news and suppression news. I use the word suppression because now they got a new thing going. This happened since Hunter because we were killing them on Hunter, you know, stealing money from every country.
The laptop
He was
from
a
hell.
human vacuum cleaner. And it was hurting them badly. So all of a sudden, big tech, together with their partner, the Democrats, and their partner, the fake news media, they decide under no circumstances will we ever talk about it again. So you have 95% of the media, you could have them be Jesse James and walk into the bank with a gun, hold them up, give me all your money. And they
This
won't
is a
talk
real
about it.
conspiracy
And
theory.
it's hard to have a scandal if they don't talk about it. Other than the New York Post and people like Sean Hannity and people like Laura, and Tucker is doing good. I like Tucker lately.
Tucker.
And our friends in the morning, and I tell you, we have some great new people.
Uh-oh.
OAN.
Yep. Yeah, OAN. Newsmax put out a map with Trump having like 409 electoral votes or something.
And Judge Jeanine, she's on, right? She's on tonight. And Jesse Waters is great. And Pete
Jesse
Hegseth.
Waters.
And I'm in trouble because I don't mention everybody, but we have great people. We have a great voice. But the fact is, most of the press was suppressed, so that no matter what, they wouldn't talk. And it was incredible. And I have to give a lot of credit to
I'm
Carl
finding
Allen
this
and the New
woman's
York
nodding
Post,
very
because
weaponized
they went out and they fought him, and they fought
and
him hard.
triggering.
Oldest paper in America, fourth or fifth biggest, and they should be very proud of themselves. But we're doing the same thing. These two incredible people are doing the same thing. We fight. If you don't get out and vote, they are going to win. Now, you know, a lot of people, friends of mine, say, let's not vote. We're not going to vote because we're angry about the presidential.
Interesting.
And they're friends of mine. They are people that are great people. They're real friends, and more than just two. There are numerous people.
Wow.
And it's almost like a protest. But if you do that, the radical left wins.
Ah.
It was sort of an instinct of mine. You know, you're angry because so many votes were stolen. It was taken away. And you say, well, we're not going to do it. We can't do that. We have to actually do just the opposite. We can't do that. We can't do that. We have to do just the opposite. If you don't vote, the socialists and the communists win. They win.
There's none running. There's none in government.
For these two incredible people. And I'm telling you, they're two of the finest people you'll ever meet. We can fight for the presidency and fight to elect our two great senators, and we can do it at the same time. We'll do it at the same time. It's all right. The election is about...
Hey, moderators, just a heads up. We're getting invaded a little bit by some trolls. Let's just keep an eye out.
It's just unbelievable how she picked it up. No, but, you know, this natural talent. I always say, as an athlete, I'd always say, would you rather practice or have natural talent? I said, the best is both, right? But she's got a great natural talent. A great natural talent. just very respected.
Yeah.
But they believe, both of them, in America, and they believe in our values and all.
Isn't this woman the star of a few viral videos where she's yelling at minorities at a Walmart?
Because I love you, stay tuned, by the way. This election is about the radical left movement that hates America and wants to erase our history and wipe away everything that we hold dear. They want to rip down our statues. You know, I signed a bill. I took an old bill because we could never get it today in the House, headed by Crazy Nancy. I took an old bill that said 10 years in prison. They used the word prison, not jail. 10 years in prison if you take down a statue. I haven't seen it happen lately. Do you notice? Everyone said, you can't use that. I'll never forget. I heard they were going to, you know, they did destruction around, and all in radical left Democrat-run cities, by the way. And we're not supposed to go in. I don't know. If I had it to do again,
Boston's a mess. It's crazy what's going on.
We're not supposed to. They're supposed to be able to handle their own affairs. I don't know. But all over, they said, sir, you can't do this, Bill. This is too tough. I said, really?
Sir?
They're going to tear down a statue of Abraham Lincoln, George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, desecrate the most beautiful pieces of art, and they represent our country.
Confederate statues are pieces of art now?
I told you we can't let it happen. Over the last 4 years, David Perdue has been one of the toughest fighters for our America First agenda in Washington. And David saw this. Did you see last week? China said, China doesn't like me too much. They pay us billions and billions. That never happened. Billions and billions of dollars in tariffs, and they pay it. They devalued their currency.
He still doesn't get it.
A lot of money. They don't like me. The happiest people in the world right now are the leaders of China. The second happiest are the leaders of Iran. What we would have done in the next 4 years.
So he's conceding.
Like nobody's ever,
so he won't be here.
But China said,
all right,
we will not deal with you unless you get rid of the America First policy. And you know what the Democrats
He's ill.
said?
Oh, my God.
They said, yes, we will do that. Can you believe this? And that's when I realized what a brilliant name that is. You know, we come up with some good ones, but that's a good one. We came up with plenty of good ones, haven't we? Some of them I won't use because some of those people are now friends of mine. But we.
Why is he screaming also?
But America First. And I looked at Melania a week ago and I said, can you believe it? They are saying that they don't agree with America First. How do you say that?
And she said, sir?
How do you say it? We don't agree with America First. We agree with China. Yes, we will get rid of America First policy. I think, David, you don't like that too much, right? And if they're here, it won't happen because nothing's going to be able to get passed. That's not going to be reasonable. He fought to pass the largest package, David,
huge
of
package,
tax cuts and reforms in American history. He helped lead the effort to repeal a record number of job-killing regulations, the likes of which you've never seen, including the unfair Waters of the United States rule that crippled work for our farmers and our builders.
This guy with his kids leaving in the background, they're out of here.
Destroying people, and I'll never, Waters of the United, how beautiful is that? Waters of the United States. And I said, I got to get rid of it. I got to do it, but I'm going to get killed. Because the only thing good about it was the title, Waters. What are you doing today? I'm terminating Waters of the United States. Well, it was a little bit like the Paris Environmental Accord, right? The Paris Environmental Accord. I said, I'm going to get killed in this one.
We'll be back in it within 7 weeks.
Trillions and trillions of dollars. Russia has a big advantage of us. They go back to old days when the air was very dirty. That was their standard. China doesn't kick in until 2030. We kick in immediately, and the money that would have cost us, and if we adhered to it, we would have had to close up 20% of our factories. And now, the first thing they want to do, John Kerry, great negotiator, the first thing they want to do is they want to, number one, they want to bring back the Paris Accord.
Kerry's smarter than anyone that works for Trump.
That was designed to destroy the United States. The second thing they want to do is let's give Iran billions of dollars. Oh, they're so happy. Iran would have been in my office in the first hour after we won the election to make a deal.
So you guys are right. There are a lot of people walking out, yeah.
After Hurricane Michael devastated our farmers in southwest Georgia, as I said, no one worked harder to get them relief than David Perdue. He would call me all the time. He actually called me more than Sonny, and Sonny said agriculture. What the hell's going on, Sonny? Sonny, what happened to you, Sonny? It's true. David would call all the time, remember? And remember how tough the Democrats made? They didn't want to give him anything. But we got it. We got him more than they even thought possible. Senator Perdue helped pass the unprecedented $2.5 trillion investment in our United States military, delivering the largest pay raises in addition to everything else for our warriors in a decade. And we now have the greatest, most modern military in the history of our country. We have brand new fighter jets, brand new bombers, brand new missiles and rockets.
Remember a couple months ago, some of the enlightened leftists in the sort of revolutionary left saying, Trump's against the military-industrial complex.
We have them all. We have missiles that go 7 times faster than any missile in the world.
Best missiles.
And
Cheering
when we
for
took
missiles.
over, our military was decimated, our military was tired, our military was in big trouble. And you remember, and I've said it a lot, one of the world's most overrated generals came to see me. He said, sir, we have no ammunition.
Sir.
We had a little problem with a certain country. And he said, sir, we have no ammunition. I said, tell me you're not saying that. We didn't have ammunition. Think of it. We had very little ammunition. And I'll never forget that statement. I said, that should never happen to a president of the United States again, nor should being spied on ever happen to a president of the United States.
Right.
Senator Perdue has been a tremendous leader on pro-American immigration reform like nobody else. He voted very powerfully when I was going through hell on the wall. They would have given me anything. They gave me the money for the military. They just didn't want to give me money for the wall, so I took it out of the military. What the hell could I do? That was rather good. It's good to be a developer every once in a while. That was the one where the judges ruled yesterday, so they said it was fine because I called it national security. So we took it out of the military. They didn't figure that one out. Now they do. But you know what? They don't have to be careful because it's
very sick man.
Very popular and very successful.
Ranting
Shut
and ranting.
down sanctuary cities, end chain migration, and protect American jobs, David did. He voted to confirm nearly 300 of the judges that I talked about, the federal judges that interpret the Constitution as written. And when the Democrat mob came for Judge Kavanaugh, David Perdue stood strong.
Defiant David Perdue.
And, you know, I'm just thinking they both stood strong when they impeached your president for making a...
Yeah, so he took the money from the military, or I thought Mexico was going to pay for the wall. Now I'm confused.
...for making a perfect phone call. But those two were among the best. Senator Perdue...
More people leaving.
...is an outsider, a businessman, a great businessman, and a true American patriot. You need him fighting...
The imagery of the people heading for the exits is funny.
Because the United States Senate cannot be the same without him. So that's why I'm here. You know, I don't do these things for other people. In fact, I was curious. I didn't know if anyone was going to show up. I said, I'm doing it for other people. This is a hell of a crowd. Look, as far as the eye can see.
Turn the cameras around.
As far as the eye can see. I don't like doing it for other people. I said, David and Kelly called, would you do a rally? I said, not really. I did 56 of them in a little tiny period of time. I said, let me have. And I said, when they asked, it was really not. But, you know, I don't do them for other people. It's a lot of work to do a rally. A lot of work. People don't realize when you do, I did 5 a day the last 4 or 5
Guys, you people, don't you realize flying around on a private jet to read the same speech everywhere in front of a crowd of sycophants? That's really hard work. What do you guys do, by the way?
It's fun. In some of them, it's 75 degrees, and in others, it's 20 degrees below zero.
Yep.
And you're doing them
Sometimes
both.
it's cold.
I'm saying, how's the weather out there? Sir, it's about 20 degrees below zero. That's good. Then I land the next stop. How are we doing? Sir, it's 82.
Too
David's
hot,
opponent,
too cold, too
Jon
sunny.
Ossoff is a radical left-wing zealot.
Nice transition
Who is
into
very
that.
proud to be endorsed by...
Look at Ossoff's actual policy positions. He's like a center-left Democrat.
The crazy Green New Deal. That's another beauty. Don't forget, the Green New Deal is really $100 trillion, okay? It's $100 trillion. They don't say that, Louis, do they? They talk about $3 trillion. It got down to $3 trillion. No, it's $100 trillion is what they wanted. That's more money. If our economy was going unbelievable gangbusters for 100 years, no recession, no anything, we couldn't come close to making $100 trillion. They want to rip down buildings and rebuild them with no windows. I like windows. I like big, beautiful windows.
And low-flow toilets.
He wants to do a total government takeover of healthcare that will destroy your doctor's offices and rural hospitals. So if you're sick, if you have a cold, go to a hospital, wait online for about 3 days, and hope you get a decent doctor. Ossoff also supports a crippling nationwide lockdown. He wants you to lock your home nice and tight after you're inside of it.
No one supports that.
And he passes legislation to let hardened criminals go free. Get them out of jail. Get them out of jail. Ossoff will be a complete tool for the radical left donors who are trying to buy Georgia's Senate seats. Do you see the money these people have raised? I mean, it's really, it's very, well, of course, I just raised $250 million.
This woman sees the money that was raised.
I didn't raise it. It just came. I said, how are we doing on that front? You know, because we didn't get great publicity. Boy, they were so happy, these guys. You might not be happy in a few weeks. You know, you might not.
Right, because Trump's going to be president. Again.
I said, how's fundraising going? They said, sir, about 250 million. I said, 250 million what? Dollars. How the hell did that happen? Because people believe in what we're doing. That's why. They believe in what we're doing. But that's why Ossoff's donations come from Silicon Valley, San Francisco, and the other liberal places, and they don't come from Georgia. This is not your fault. I know you. You're with me. I'm with you. We've always had wins from primaries to 2 elections. We won 2 elections, believe it or not. I think I won the second one by more than I won the first one.
There it is. There's an idea.
Right? Bill.
Sure.
I won the second one by more.
He won, guys.
On January 5th, you also need to vote for your incredible Republican Senator, Kelly Loeffler. Kelly has been an exceptional champion for Georgia's workers and families, and I know what they fight for. I could tell you about David, I could tell you about Kelly. She fights for you every single day, loves your state. When our nation was hit with the China virus, Senator Loeffler helped rescue the U.S. economy by voting to pass a historic $3 trillion bill, relief for American workers and families, and a lot of people were against it, and it turned out to be a great thing, Kelly. Thank you. A lot of people said, oh, it's too much. I said, it's not their fault, and I want to get them more money now, and I like the higher number rather than the lower number. We'll make it back. With her help, we secured $15 billion for 175,000 Georgia small businesses and saved 1.5 million Georgia jobs. That was both of them, really, both of them. Kelly is a relentless advocate for Georgia farmers, and she has fought tough.
Kelly is maybe the most corrupt senator, maybe. And it's tough, actually, because there's a lot of contenders there.
Fine man who's one of the most respected men in the country. I want to tell you that. I want to tell you that. He's a great man. He's a great gentleman. At the urging of, if you're successful today, it's supposed to be a bad thing. No, I think it means you're smart sometimes, right? He's a smart guy, but he's a great guy. He's a great man. At the urging of Kelly and David, my administration took historic action to protect growers of Georgia blueberries, peppers, squash, and cucumbers. Who does cucumbers around here? Because I like cucumbers. I'm the only one. I like cucumbers.
His cukes.
When our law enforcement heroes were under attack, Senator Loeffler stood up to the Marxists and introduced legislation to protect our brave men and women in blue, and she was threatened all over the place. That threat meant nothing. That was a wasted number of phone calls or however the hell.
I'm big on broccolini. I think broccolini is just a great vegetable.
Introduced legislation to prevent Democrat gun grabbers like Beto O'Rourke. Remember Beto? Beto. There's a guy, has another one. He wants to take your guns away. Oh, by the way, Trump is going to lose Texas, but Beto O'Rourke, who's a big factor in that whole thing, wants to take. Remember when Beto was running, he was riding high, and then Ted Cruz, who's done a great job, beat Beto O'Rourke. But Beto was riding high for a while. And remember he was on the cover of a certain really bad magazine. I won't mention the name. It's failing. It won't be in business for another 6 months, I don't think. I hope. But he was on the cover, and he said, I was born to do this. And I said, anybody that says they were born to do this,
more people leaving.
Be losing very quickly. And you know what? Within about 2 months, he was a stone-cold loser. And just weeks ago, Senator Loeffler cast her vote to confirm our newest Supreme Court Justice, Amy Coney Barrett.
Okay.
They both did, by the way. They both did. I can't leave David out of that one. Kelly's opponent,
A lot of people
Raphael
leaving, guys.
Warnock, is a dangerous extremist who is radically opposed to your values. He said he believes that, quote, nobody can serve God and the military. Oh, really? An appalling statement that dishonors the memory and generations of American heroes who fought for God and for our country. Raphael Warnock has openly declared his support for socialism, and he has even praised Marxists all over the world. He once hosted the barbaric communist dictator Fidel Castro. He likes Castro. I think he was a good man. He was a good guy, he said. He falsely slandered patriotic Americans as racists. He called police officers gangsters, thugs, and bullies. He supports abolishing cash bail. Look at what happened to New York with their cash bail. No cash bail, no bail. Don't worry about it. You killed somebody. Don't worry about it. You know, you're on the honor code. And he's declared, quote, open up the jails, free the violent criminals, and prey on Georgia, families, children. No, you can't do that. This is not for Georgia, I'm telling you. It might be for some places, and I tell you that too. This is not for Georgia. I think Raphael has to move to another state. Try it again. Warnock is strongly anti-Israel.
People checking in, we're about 75 minutes into this, and only the last 10 roughly have been actually about the Senate races in any kind of real way.
We did something, I shouldn't be doing this for them. It costs too much money, but we'll do it anyway. We have a little video to play, please.
Oh no, not the video.
Senator Sanders, Senator Warren, and myself are all on the same team. What are you willing to sacrifice to make sure that overfunded police departments are defunded?
There is no middle road on the climate crisis.
I not only support a Green New Deal, I don't think it goes far enough. I'm all for a Green New Deal. This is part of what gun registration is about. We want to track where the guns are. We need to cut the defense budget.
Popeyes or Chick-fil-A?
Oh, Popeye.
Are you in favor of expanding the court or perhaps an age limit in place instead of a lifetime appointment?
Look, I've said everything is on the table.
But if we win the majority, everything is on the table.
Now we take Georgia, then we change America.
Change is coming to America.
The blue wave is comprised of those who are documented and undocumented.
We win these races in Georgia so that we don't have to negotiate.
That's their goal. Total radical control to bring horrific change to America. Only Georgians can stop them.
Nobody can serve God and the military.
Raphael Warnock attacks our military.
How long do you think Trump's going to go on today?
Gangster and thug mentality.
Warnock attacks our police.
Okay, hold
on. Negotiate.
That's their goal. Total radical control to bring horrific change to America. Only Georgians can stop them.
Nobody can serve God and the military.
Raphael Warnock attacks our military.
Police power, the kind of gangster and thug mentality.
Warnock attacks our police.
Somebody's got to open up the jails.
Raphael Warnock is dangerous. No wonder he defended this.
Not God bless America, God America.
Now my hope is that in early January, Democrats will pick up 2 more seats in the Georgia runoffs, and that will make our life a lot easier.
We need to send a message this year. We need to send a message that if you indulge this kind of politics, you're not just going to get beaten. You're going to get beaten so bad you can never run or show your face again in public. Because we have had enough, absolutely enough, of what we are getting from Donald Trump and his fellow travelers right now.
So the guy they just showed getting punched in that video, that's the guy who was going around violently attacking people in the time leading up to that. Like that, every aspect of that is so deceptive. It's crazy.
They showed up and it was incredible. Hundreds of thousands of people. People couldn't believe. Now, of course, some of the fake news said hundreds of people are here. No. Tens of thousands of people. And you know, Antifa showed
Ooh.
up. Not the right, but the left showed up. And they looked at some of these people and they wanted to attack the crowd. They looked and they said, no, thank you. And they left. No problem. They looked at some of these people. They
When
said,
was
no,
this?
thank you. Then it broke up about 3 o'clock. Everyone went home very peacefully. It was a beautiful day, actually. They all went home peacefully. And that night they came back. And there were a few families that stayed around with young children. And there were some elderly people that were having dinner in Washington. Very elderly people.
Very elderly.
They got attacked. Those people got attacked viciously
Viciantly.
by the scum from Antifa. We can't let this happen. We can't let this happen. But what they didn't play, what the fake news didn't play, is during the day they walked in and they wanted to do some damage and they took a look and they said, no thank you, we won't do it. We'll wait. We'll wait till we get the people with the children. We'll wait till we get the elderly people that want to stay in Washington and really just have a good time. And it was disgusting to watch. On January 5th, you must defeat Ossoff and Warnock and send 2 great people, David Perdue and Kelly Loeffler, back to the Senate.
Looks like the conclusion.
And if you don't mind, I'd like to ask David and Kelly to come up and say a few words, please.
Oh, this is going to be a mess. Get ready for some real bonkers stuff. Trump seems bored, honestly. Like he's just waiting for it to be over. Oh my God, look at these people.
Thank you, Georgia. Thank you, Mr. President. President Trump, you made America great again because you put America first. Thank you. President Trump created the strongest economy because he put the American worker first. He stood up, that's right, he stood up to the cancel culture.
This woman is vile.
Big tech, the fake news. We are standing strong for President Trump because he's fought for us every single day.
Disgusting woman. Really, really vile.
Every day. Georgia, we need you to vote January 5th. If you're our voice on January 5th, we'll be your voice for years. We have to make sure that we keep America strong.
Okay.
Thank you.
Very little applause.
Well, you know what? My colleague, David Perdue, my good friend, wants to make sure that you vote. We are going to vote because if we don't vote, we will lose the country. If we vote, we will win.
Hey, guys, I want to take liberty just 1 second.
Hey, why won't you debate Jon Ossoff?
Something personal to President Trump.
How about debating Jon
I
Ossoff?
want to say something for President Trump personally. Guys, I want to say something personal for President Trump.
Trump.
God bless you. We love you, Mr. President. We love the First Lady. And we're going to fight and win those 2 seats and make sure you get a fair, square deal.
How about a debate?
Georgia. God bless you, Mr. President.
They hand him the mic now. But he had a mic.
Thank you very much.
The crowd's just done.
Thank you, folks.
What are they chanting? 5 more? Fight for Trump?
Thank you.
Trump's hair has turned green. It's
We're
weird.
fighting. We're going to fight like you never saw before. Thank you. We can't let what happened 3 weeks ago, we can't let it happen. It's beyond me. We can't let it happen. And somewhere there's going to be a champion, your champion. Somewhere there's going to be a champion that's going to do what's right, because this has been going on for a long time, but never like it's happened recently. And you know, they've used the pandemic and the phony fake ballots, the mail-in ballots, they use that to sabotage a country. We're not going to let it happen. As you know, a major issue in this state is voter fraud. It's been a big issue for a long time. Never like this. We sent out tens of thousands, millions and millions of ballots. Nobody knew where they came from, where they are. People were getting 2, 3, 4 ballots. They were signing them, sending them in. What a mess. And I said it a year ago, and I said it every month. And I even said, let's postpone the election. And they said, oh, he's not an American, you know. They knew what they were doing. They knew what they were doing. We're all deeply disturbed and upset by the lying, cheating, robbing, stealing that's gone on with our elections. We know the Democrats will have dead people voting, and you got to watch it. Dead people. You wouldn't believe
they'll be dead and voting
from out of the state, and they'll be filing out and filling out ballots for people who don't even exist. They put up
what a
names,
stupid argument.
Signing their own name over and over. They have people signing names with the same pen, with the same signature. They don't even change because they know once they get it in, it'll never be looked at. It'll never be looked at again because of people like your Secretary of State and your governor. So we want signature verification, but the answer, and we're going to be very careful. We're going to watch every ballot, David and Kelly. We can't let this happen again. And again, we have more light shining here because of what happened.
Right.
Because of the fact it's pinpointed. The answer to the Democrat fraud is not to stay at home. That's what Nancy Pelosi and Schumer, that's what they want you to do.
Actually, there's been Republicans saying stay home.
If you want to do something to them, I don't want to use the word revenge, but it is a certain revenge. To the Democrats, you show up and vote in record numbers. That's what you have to do. They can only win if they cheat. They can't win this state unless they cheat. And they cheat better than anybody. You know, when you think of it, the Republicans are much nicer. They're not nearly as vicious. Maybe a few of us. Republicans are too nice, he said. You're right. That's a very good, thank you very much. I like that. But they're too nice. They don't go after these criminals. They got to go after them. We're talking to people. Go after them. They don't go after them.
What?
They're afraid they'll hurt their reputation when they get out. I don't know. They don't go after them. But we're watching this so closely. We have everybody watching. You got to get out and vote. Let them steal Georgia again. You'll never be able to look yourself in the mirror.
Is he winding down?
Hold the line. And you have two of the greatest people on earth. We have to hold the line. Make sure that you and everyone else know that you have to register to vote before this Monday, December 7th. Is that right? Monday, December 7th. You have to register to vote. Of course, you'll probably be allowed to if you're a Democrat. You know, they don't have any time limits. Did you see where...
What a buffoon.
Where Stacey is allowed to harvest, but other people can't harvest. How is that constitutional? How is that?
She reportedly harvested massive dumps of blueberries and raspberries.
.gov and register immediately, then request your absentee ballot before December 31st. Don't delay. Watch it closely. Do it today. Do it tomorrow. And return your ballot the same day you get it. So they can't say, gee, it didn't come in on time. You know what they did in one of the states? Ballots were coming in late. Very, very late. So they backdated the ballots. We have all the information. We have so much evidence.
Why don't judges buy it?
Court. Oh, they don't have enough evidence. We have hundreds and hundreds and even thousands of affidavits. And they say, he doesn't have the evidence. We have so much evidence, we don't know what to do with it. I'm saying, do we put all of this into a filing? It's like with wheelbarrows. If you aren't planning to vote by mail,
wheelbarrows of
early
evidence,
in person or vote on election day, whatever you do, I need each of you, every one of you, your friends, your family, to go and vote.
His heart's not really in it.
And after we win, we need to pass landmark election reform, including voter ID. Is that so bad? Residency verification, like we live in the country, we live in the state. Citizenship confirmation. They want to say, oh, he doesn't have to be a citizen. You got to see what's voting. They're not citizens. You're a citizen? No, I'm not.
This is insane.
No English. Speak no English.
Completely corrosive.
Yeah. This is the craziest.
Not speaking English is different than not being a citizen. Although you do need some level of English to pass the citizenship test, right?
Sure, you had a photo ID.
Very stupid.
When it comes to the most important thing, voting, they don't want to do it. And they know. They know exactly. We just can't let that happen. I've only been doing this for a short time. Believe me, this is something we're going to do because we can't allow it to happen. And complete overhaul of our election security systems, because right now, Dominion is a joke, okay?
Right.
Not a very funny joke. It's a disgrace that in 2020, no state in America even makes any real attempt to verify that those who cast ballots by mail are eligible and lawfully registered voters. The evidence of fraud is overwhelming, and again, I'm going to ask you to look up at that very, very powerful and very expensive screen.
Again?
Let's go.
Oh my God, wait, let's switch over here.
It's a disgrace that in 2020, no state in America even makes any real attempt to verify that those who cast ballots by mail are eligible.
Oh, did we miss it?
The counting room.
I think we missed it.
A short time later, with no observers, with no media, hidden cases of possible ballots are rolled out from under a table. 4 people, under a cloud of suspicion, begin what looks an awful lot like...
This has already been debunked, I hope you guys know.
And the media did pass.
Oh, wait.
Atlanta, Georgia ballot counters being told to leave the counting room. Then a short time later, with no observers, with no media...
This has already been debunked.
Cases of possible
it's
ballots
so dumb.
are rolled out from under a table. 4 people, under a cloud of suspicion, begin...
A cloud.
What looks an awful lot like ballot stuffing.
And the media did pack up and leave at 11:15. But there weren't observers there at that time, and there was no announcement made for anyone to leave.
Now, wait a second here. That is disheveled Fulton County Elections Chief Richard Barron.
Disheveled.
But he doesn't have the facts right. The video proves it. At 10:40 p.m., not 11:15, 10:40, the media is packing up. A half hour before he thinks they leave. You can see them putting on their jackets there. And by 10:56...
So this has already been widely debunked, and actual election workers explained, like, no, those ballots weren't hidden. Like, we knew that the ballots were there. We were counting ballots sequentially. Just because, you know, you put a little interest circle around an area of the screen or a person doesn't make it what you want it to be. It's actually so boring.
To leave. And if you look at this table, there are ballots in boxes open.
And understand that nobody's willing to go in and do this stuff under oath. All the hearings, nobody's under oath. In the actual court filings, they never say we believe there was fraud. When they're asked in court, are you alleging fraud? They say, well, no, we're just saying people didn't see some stuff. What you have to do is you can't go by what's said on Newsmax. You have to go by what they're saying in court.
Ballots were under a table versus being in the open.
Well, I think there's a. I don't know that I think those ballot boxes get heavy. I don't think they want to be lifting those things up and putting them back down.
He makes no sense. The guy's scratching his head. He just looks nervous. The guy does not inspire confidence. There were already ballots out, but even almost 24 hours since I posted what could be, quote, smoking gun video of election fraud. A video now with 2.5 million views as of right now on my Twitter.
It's been debunked.
The head of elections, whose ballot counters are now...
It's actually embarrassing also that a president promotes stuff from Newsmax. Like, that's the real embarrassment.
I need to review the video. I have not seen the video.
Please do. Please do is right. He hasn't watched the video that could upend the presidential election, and the guy in charge of the very people in the room admits he didn't watch the video before updating board members this morning. That's insanity. And yet, Fulton County still certified the election. But you know who did watch our video? Our viewers, Stinchfield's Army. One directed me to this moment in the video. The woman in purple, after putting ballots in to be scanned, it appears to take the same batch of ballots out, straighten them, and then look what she does with them. She reinserts them back.
The ballots have a unique identifier, right? So like the machines literally can't count the same ballot 2 times unless it wasn't read the first time.
May not be an explanation for this, but it certainly needs to be investigated. by law enforcement as the greatest political heist in election history may have just been caught on camera.
Evidence of election fraud mounts as the mainstream media and Democrats loudly insist Joe Biden is still the 2020 winner. However, numerous whistleblowers are coming forward with credible information that hundreds of thousands of votes for President Trump mysteriously disappeared on election night. On Tuesday, Jesse Morgan, a worker for the U.S. Postal Service, revealed that his trailer full of ballots simply went missing after he dropped them off. The worker drove his truck from Bethpage, New York, all the way to Lancaster, Pennsylvania, and says he was carrying some 288,000 completed mail-in ballots. Phil Klein, the director of the legal group Thomas More's Society.
I actually can't believe they're just playing entire Newsmax reports at these events.
The project is working to discover flaws and even expose cases of voting fraud in the 2020 election, and has already uncovered serious examples of voting irregularities. Backing up President Trump's warnings, Klein explains that the post office was rife with fraud and that many Postal Service workers were taking part in widespread illegal efforts to undermine.
Oh, this is OAN. Sorry, not
While the
Newsmax.
workers at the post office in Wisconsin had collected and backdated over 100,000 ballots on the morning after the election. Unsurprisingly, others also
It's like a
claim
10-minute
the
video.
integrity of Dominion voting machines has been compromised and cannot be trusted. During a press conference in Arlington, Virginia on Tuesday, the project...
I'm watching this show, The Barrier, on Netflix. It's really good. It's a Spanish show, and it's sort of like a dystopian police state. And this screen reminds me of the screen that's always playing there, with the same woman's voice reminding people how to behave and what to do.
Ballot hard drives were illegally tampered with and broken. Klein says that in total, there are over 300,000 fraudulent ballots in Arizona, 548,000 in Michigan, 204,000 in Georgia, and 121,000 in Pennsylvania.
This is nuts.
Based on this evidence, the FBI has reportedly requested to look at the project's data on voting integrity and potential election fraud. Pearson Sharp, One America News.
All right, so let's get back over
The
here.
water main break. You know, they said there was no water main break. That's 10 times more than I need to win this state. 10 times more. It's 10 times, maybe more than that, but it's 10 times more because we lost by a very close number. The alleged Biden margin of victory in several states is entirely accounted for by extraordinarily large midnight vote dumps. You saw that.
Here we go.
Going up to the sky.
Huge dumps.
All extremely skewed to Biden. Like Biden would get 10,000 votes and Trump would get 3 in a Trump area. Oh. For example, at 6:31 a.m. in Michigan, reported 141,238 votes for Joe Biden and 5,900 votes for Donald Trump. 96% for Biden, 4% for Trump, in an area where I should be doing quite well. You know, I won almost every county in Michigan, almost every district. It was, except for one.
Right.
And they actually had more people. If you look at the ballots, they had ballots all over. They had more ballots than they had people voting. How do you do that? So they had people, and they're voting. And then, as you know, 2 of the canvassers were very brave. They didn't vote, and they got the hell knocked out of them.
Canvassers.
Point of what they went through. They took, all the cameras went off, and then they raised their hand, but then they couldn't sign it ultimately. But more ballots than they had voters. Now, how simple is that? A similar vote dump occurred in Wisconsin at 3:42 a.m. This is 3:42 in the morning. In fact, when I went to bed that night, everybody was calling, congratulations, you're up 600,000 votes in Pennsylvania. Across all of the key swing states, there were impossibly low rejection rates. You saw that. For mail-in ballots, drastically less than the historic norm. In Georgia, 0.5% of the mail-in ballots were rejected in 2020 compared to 5.77%. That's a difference of 11 times more. It's hundreds of thousands of votes. In Pennsylvania, 0.03% were rejected in 2020 compared to a much, much higher percentage in 2016.
Right.
This issue alone is enough to change the election results in many states. Whistleblowers.
So basically he did 15 minutes on the Senate, and then otherwise it's been election fraud claims.
Have testified to witnessing postal workers and election workers illegally backdating thousands and thousands of ballots, fixing ballots, filling out false birthdays, registering ineligible voters, and much, much more. We're talking about hundreds of thousands of votes in each state. In Arizona, a sample of 100 ballots reviewed by a judge found that a very small percentage of these ballots, very small, but when you look at it, turned out to be very large. It was tens of thousands of votes, more than we would have needed to win Arizona. We should have won that state very easily. We have a similar type of governor, I think, but I'll let you know that in about a week. In one Michigan county, and by the way, when Laura Ingraham interviewed your governor, he said he was an offensive lineman. I said, that's strange. He doesn't look like an offensive lineman to me. In one Michigan county using Dominion voting systems, nearly 6,000 votes were discovered that were wrongly switched from Trump to Biden. They called it a glitch. You know a glitch? That's like the machine broke.
Completely unsubstantiated.
We found glitches, and every single time the glitch went 100% to Biden and no percent to Trump.
These are completely unsubstantiated lies.
The left lies, they cheat and they steal. They are ruthless, and they are hell-bent on getting power and control by any...
Yeah, and he's been going for an hour and 35 minutes for people who are wondering. It's unbelievable.
The moment you question them, they try and intimidate you. They call you a poor American. You're not a good American. You don't love our country. They don't love our country. They beat you down, shut you up, and make you retreat. That's what they do. That's what they've done to your governor. They've done that to your governor. Your governor should be ashamed of himself. That's what they want to do right here in Georgia. They want you to be quiet. They want you to go away, but we don't go away. We don't go away.
Seems out of energy.
It's the biggest open secret in America that Democrats cheat in elections. This year, by sending out 65 million mail-in ballots, they perpetrated the largest fraud in the history of our country. Democrat officials and politicians in every swing state systematically weakened every measure to combat election fraud. They ensured that there were no identity checks, no signature checks. I want to check a signature, please. I'm sorry, we don't let you do that. No eligibility checks, no nothing. Every single one of you know that if these ballots are properly audited, if the signatures and envelopes were examined, if the envelopes were correlated to the votes, because you'll find there are far more ballots than there are envelopes. All you have to do is count them up. How many ballots do you have? How many envelopes do you have? And if the voter rolls are studied, in other words, studied to check the signature, Ms. Smith, oh, it's a totally different signature from 2 years ago, from 6 years ago, from 10 years ago. What's that all about?
He's fading, yeah. It's getting sad.
We're illegally kept.
It went from dangerous to just sad and weird.
By the way, more than enough to give us a total historic victory. This is our country that they are and you know this and you see it, but they are trying to take it from us through rigging, fraud, deception, and deceit. That's what we saw in the election. That's what's going on, and it's happening right now in our country. We will do something about it, and we're going to do something about it quickly. And we're going to be watching on January 5th.
Yeah.
We're going to be watching every element of what they do, this fraud that
a lot of people leaving
in our country. We're going to be watching it more closely than any election has ever been watched. Hopefully our legislatures and the United States Supreme Court will step forward and save our country.
It's actually becoming almost Castro-like in its duration.
Without borders, we don't have a country. I can say also, without an honest voting system, without an electoral process that works and that's honest and fair, we don't have a country either. We need to check every single signature in the presidential and senatorial elections. And right now, we have to get out to vote for David Perdue and Kelly Loeffler to show the radical left that we will never surrender. We will only win. We're going to win. We always win. somehow we find a way.
People heading for the exits.
Now is not the time.
This guy doesn't know which way to go, but he's getting out.
Harder than ever before. So don't listen to my friends. Just go out. Just go out. And you know what they're saying? They're saying, we want you to fix the system. We're going to fix the system. But the system will be fixed when these people get in. They'll get in and we'll fix the system.
Right.
Because we're all victims. Everybody here, all these thousands of people here tonight, they're all victims, every one of you. The next great victory for our movement begins right here on January 5th, and then we are going to win
Look at the
back
people
the
bailing.
White House. We're going to win it back. And we're going to take back the House in 2022. And then in 2024, and hopefully I won't have to be a candidate, we're going to win back the White House again.
Win back the White House? Wait, we're going to win?
A friend of mine said, oh, don't worry about it, sir.
Win
You'll
back?
Up in the polls. You'll win in 2024. I said, I don't want to wait till 2024. I want to go back 3 weeks. We're thrilled to be joined tonight by some real friends of all of ours, Representatives Doug Collins.
Oh, my God.
Who's fantastic. And by the way, I got to tell you, as you know, he and Kelly had a great primary, a very strong primary. They both did fantastically well, and he is on board, and he is one of the greatest.
Vandastically. Oh, more people heading for the exits. There they go.
Where's Doug? Thank you, Doug. What a job he does. Thank you. Doug, you want to run for governor in 2 years, Bobby? Be a good-looking governor. A friend of mine, one of the toughest guys you'll ever see, Louis Gohmert of Texas.
One of the most extreme congressmen out there.
Thank you, Louis. And a young up-and-comer who's taken Washington by storm, Dan Crenshaw. Where's Dan?
Oh, my God, he's got Crenshaw there.
Where's Dan?
That is funny.
Where's Dan? I didn't see you, Dan. It's the first time that's ever happened to me, huh? Because you do stand out in many ways. Thank you very much.
In many ways. What, is he talking about the eye patch? What does that mean?
Just got elected. Did my endorsement help? Better believe it. We love Tennessee. Bill Haggerty. He's going to be a great senator. He's going to be a great senator for a long time. Your former 8-year governor, he only left because of a thing called term limits. If I would have known, I would have tried to end those term limits. But he went to the
there you go.
Department of Agriculture as his head. He's done a tremendous job. And, you know, we've handed out $28 billion to farmers, $28 billion. I said, how badly have we been targeted by China? And Sonny Perdue said, over a 2-year period, sir, $28 billion. That's when I put the tariffs on China, took the money, and gave it out to the farmers. And we had a lot of money left over, and we put that into the U.S. Treasury, right, Sonny? And you've done a fantastic job. He knows more about farms than any human being. State representative, a friend of mine, a great gentleman. He saw what was happening. He happens to be a Democrat, but we love him. I'm trying to talk him into joining our party. Vernon Jones. Thank you, Vernon.
So in only about 12 or so minutes, Trump will enter the start of the 3rd hour of this speech.
Gary, good job you're doing. Boy, what a good reputation. Thank you very much, Gary. Your public service commissioners, Tricia Pridemore, Jason Shawn, a great man, great man, who's also on the ballot next month. Bubba McDonald, I like that name. Where's Bubba? Tricia? Great job. That's great. Thanks a lot, Bubba. And I introduce you to Burt Jones. Burt's going to be a very important man, I think, over the next coming with William and Brandon and the folks. And I appreciate it. And Greg, thank you very much for being here. We appreciate it.
People starting to call for mercy bans. Yeah, I understand that.
Georgia Republican Party Chairman David Schaefer. David. Hi, David. How we doing, David? Oh, we'll fire you so fast if we don't. Now, David's done a great job, and he works very closely with RNC Chairwoman. This is how we won. We won a great state we won a great state known as Michigan when she was there, and I said, let's bring her to Washington. Ronna.
And then he lost.
Thank you, Ronna. Thank you. Thank you, Ronna. Over the last 4 years, we built the greatest political movement in the history of our country.
He's got another
Already
stanza.
we've achieved more than anyone thought possible, and we're just getting started, and we don't want other people to rip it apart. We must re-elect Kelly and David to keep it going for decades. Our politicians spent trillions and trillions of dollars rebuilding other foreign nations, fighting foreign wars, and defending foreign borders. We want to defend our border, if it's okay. And we're now finally protecting our nation, rebuilding our cities, and we are bringing our jobs, our factories, and our troops back home to the USA where they belong.
Right.
Bringing them home. Not easy to bring them home. I bring them home and they say, well, sir, we got to keep them there, sir. We got to keep spending money. We've got to keep giving money to these countries that can't stand us, that nobody ever heard of. And everything we do, we are putting America first. We ended the war on American energy. And the United States is now the #1 producer of oil and natural gas anywhere on Earth. We achieved the most secure border in U.S. history, and we built our wall, as I said. Very important for you because you're a big military between the equipment we build and VA choice and VA accountability, right?
Right.
You ever notice the vets? We used to always have on television, you'd have the fake news that'd always be, well, in that case, it wasn't fake, but for years, you'd always see vets how badly treated they were, how badly treated. I shouldn't say this because they'll find one somewhere in the country, but you don't see that. You don't see that anymore. You don't see the stories on the evening news about vets that are being treated horribly. And accountability was a big factor. We fired 9,000 horrible people that took advantage of our vets.
Terrible people.
And now if our vets don't...
It's an Obama policy, but I mean, it's like...
They see a doctor.
How many times am I going to tell you guys that?
They don't wait on line for weeks and months. We destroyed 100% of the ISIS caliphate in Iraq and Syria. We killed the leader of ISIS, al-Baghdadi, and we eliminated the world's top terrorist. Soleimani is dead. I withdrew from the last administration's disastrous Iran nuclear deal, and I think they want to start it up again. Can you believe this? I wonder if they'll give them $150 billion. No, they'll give them $250. They were ready to rock. They were ready to do whatever we wanted. Now they're salivating. I recognized the true capital of Israel and opened the American embassy in Jerusalem.
Disastrous idea. And Jared was going to solve the conflict within the first term.
The Golan Heights. Instead of endless war, we are forging peace all over the world. And you know, we have the greatest military ever. We have the greatest equipment, all made in the USA. A lot of it made in Georgia. But you know what? I'm the only one in many, many decades that hasn't started a war. Everyone thought that with my personality, I'd be in war the first week. They were all saying war. And we developed relationships. Let's see how he would do with Kim Jong-un of North Korea. I don't think...
Well, first of all, he wouldn't fall for the same things that they've said to every American president forever.
With everybody. No, we built the greatest military in the world, and the better it is, the less likely it is that we're going to have to use it. But everything that we've achieved together is on the line on June 5th. In this election, you can send a message to the fake news media, and there's a lot of them right back there. And they'll find something wrong with this evening. I don't know.
He may never stop, actually. It's interesting. He may never stop the speech.
Shouted love. They'll say it was a horrible protester. They'll find something, Kelly and David. They're going to find something. They're looking. They're having a hard time. It's been a love fest. This is a love fest for these two people.
June 5th, guys. Huge.
But they all want the Silicon Valley censors and the corrupt Democrat political
Oh, my
machine.
God.
They're partners. You must vote for David Perdue and Kelly Loeffler. Go out and vote. With your help, we are going to continue our mission to save America, We will defend the right to life, religious liberty, free speech, and the right to keep and bear arms. They're going to take your guns away. We will always support the heroes of law enforcement. We will maintain America's unrivaled military might, and we will preserve peace through strength. We will protect Social Security and Medicare, and we will always protect patients.
This woman's on the phone. Whoever she's talking to is like, it's not still going on, is it?
We will stop the radical indoctrination of our students and children and restore patriotic education to our schools. We will teach our children to love our country, honor our history, and always respect our great American flag. And we will live by the words of our national motto, "In God we trust."
Will Trump dance?
Atlanta to Augusta, from
Who thinks
Savannah
Trump dances
to
today?
Columbus, and from Athens to right here. Right here. This is a nice place.
Wherever the hell we are.
Valdosta. We inherit the legacy of generations of American patriots who gave their blood, sweat, and tears to defend our country and our freedom. We stand on the shoulders of American heroes who crossed the oceans, settled the continent, tamed the wilderness, laid down the railroads, raised up the great skyscrapers, won 2 world wars, defeated fascism and communism, and made America into the single greatest nation in the history of the world. And if they get in, and add me into the group if you don't mind, we will be greater than ever before, without question. The best is yet to come. Proud citizens like you help build this country, and together we are taking back our country. Our fight to drain the Washington...
We're taking it back, but he's been president for 4 years and is now leaving.
We will not bend, we will not break, we will not yield. We will never give in, we will never give up, and we will never back down. We will never, ever surrender.
Yeah, what is he talking about?
Because we are Americans, and our hearts bleed red, white, and blue.
And I concede to Joe Biden. Good night, everybody. See you in 2024.
We are one movement, one people, one family, and one glorious nation under God. And together with the incredible people of Georgia, we have made America powerful again. They've done it. We have made America wealthy again. We have made America strong again. We have made America proud again. We have made America safe again. And we will make America great again.
When?
Thank you, Georgia. Get out and vote. Get out and vote.
All right, we'll play our own music, though.
They didn't bother to interview a single witness. Just like you, they don't want to know the truth. Well, you probably know the truth.
Okay, so there's Rudy passing gas. But the content of this was also disgusting. This went on for hours.
Witness.
There it is. Oh, that's perfectly timed. Oh, my God. That could not be more perfect.
A single witness. Just like you, they don't want to know the truth. Well, you probably know the truth.
I'd say that poll book is off by over 100,000.
Off he goes.
That poll book? Why don't you look at the registered voters on there? How many registered voters are on there? Did you
There it
even
is.
know the
Oh,
answer
it
to
was
that?
perfect again. Oh my God, I can't believe it.
There's 0. Guess how many? Wait. What about the turnout rate? 120%.
Witness.
Wow, that is just amazing. Whoa, hold on a second. Well, let's get that out. And then I think this one would even work as well.
Big, massive dumps.
There it is. Oh my God. It's too perfect.
Big, massive dump. Big, massive dump.
That's really the theme song.
Big, massive dump.
Huge dumps.
In Michigan and Pennsylvania.
Huge dumps.
All right, let's pause that. Okay, listen, if you're heading out, please make sure, if you're watching on YouTube, hit that subscribe button. You'll be notified when we go live again. I really appreciate when everybody subscribes. You can use the coupon code FRESHSTART for 75% off a membership at joinpacman.com. More than 160 people already have. Let's open the phones because the calls have been a little racy lately. Sometimes our entire stream will get demonetized on YouTube because of a call we take at the end. So what I'm going to be doing is we are going to be going Twitch exclusive for calls. Talk to me right now, okay? davidpacman.com/Discord. But you've got to go to my Twitch to watch the calls live. Twitch.tv/DavidPacman, okay? So I'm going to pinch off the Facebook and YouTube streams now. Come over to Twitch, twitch.tv/DavidPacman, and then we're opening up the phone lines very, very strongly, okay? Here we go.